All right, we got some good episodes today. Importantly, Ship in a Bottle. I mean, there's Chain of Command, but Ship in a Bottle's pretty cool. Ship in a Bottle is all about Moriarty. It's a fun little mystery episode, kinda. Mystery, you got some action, you got some romance, it's got everything.
We've got several intakes in these next few episodes.
Do we?
It's a good Barkley episode.
Hang on.
Certainly, Ship in a Bottle was one. I think you did one for Chain of Command as well. You did the whole thing with Chain of Command with the 5 lights thing.
Hey, just spoil that.
No, I didn't.
Got Chain
I'm
of
pretty sure you did
Command,
the
that's a good
video
one.
on just with like Mitznyav or something like that.
No. No, I did not. Have you been watching another Star Trek channel? What do you mean?
No, I did. But I did watch
I don't
this.
remember.
I did watch an episode last night with my dad, but it was something else.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I did an All Good Things series of intakes. I don't think I've ever said nothing about Chain of Command.
It was Voyager I was watching.
Yeah, Voyager's alright. Like Voyager.
But there is the I didn't play with boys anyway.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. However, that wasn't from the episode Ship in a Bottle. That was season 3, I think.
Alright. Interesting.
Didn't anybody here play with ships and bottles when they were boys? Or build ships and bottles when they were boys?
Yeah.
I never played with
There were
boys.
people in the YouTube stream.
By the way, yeah, people in the YouTube stream, if you could let us know if the volume between me and the other people in Discord is good. It should be good, because I'm watching the, like, volume sliders and the decibel scale and blah blah blah, and it looks okay. It looks right. But it's hard to tell exactly. Sometimes it lies.
I can see the evolution of your thumbnails.
How can you watch the levels? How do we see when I'm talking? I'm seeing this.
You can't see them in
that.
Discord, I'm seeing them in OBS.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was going to say I'm seeing like myself talking. Like I can see the white showing on my on the text, which is
Oh,
my
hang
name.
on, I'm pausing the
That's all I
countdown
can
because I just got a package at the door. Give me a second. You guys continue on.
Alright.
What do you suppose is in this package? Let's bet on what he's receiving.
Food, maybe.
Food?
We guess delivery
Yeah.
sometimes.
See, I'm gonna guess it's some electronics he ordered off it.
Oh, it's a trope.
That's a real
Possible.
specific, yet broad guess at the same time.
Ranking gold person random from the YouTube channel.
Did you say he's getting a package from a fan?
I wonder if it's the gold person random.
Now, not to get everyone too excited, but I got some pillowcases. Actually, just one pillowcase.
Oh!
Just one pillowcase.
Bummer. We were
Okay.
betting on what you were receiving, and nobody guessed pillowcases.
What did you
That's
get?
very exciting.
Food
I
and
guessed
electronics.
electronics from Amazon's.
Also, 2-minute countdown to the first episode, Quality of Life. Or The Quality of Life.
Oh, that's
Quality
very
of Life.
exciting.
No,
I don't
just a
remember this
pillowcase.
Bit of a middling episode.
Quality of... Yeah,
It's
it's
I
Okay,
don't
okay.
very
remember
exciting.
if I don't remember, it's not of anything of particular importance, either good or bad.
We get some data disobeying commands, which is fun, but there's not a lot to it, really. Oh, thank you, USPS, for texting me that my package was delivered. Yep, that's very helpful.
Is in case it's delivered to someone else,
Yes.
so you know that
Yes.
it's been delivered.
It gets delivered to someone else, or I don't happen to be home at the time, or I just don't hear it because I have headphones. It's helpful. I mean, it should be helpful. I specifically signed up for it. It isn't just something they do. Tracking number, expected delivery on Saturday, May 29th by 7:45 p.m. It is currently 12:05 p.m., therefore they beat their window by 7 hours 40 minutes.
Wow.
But that's basically just when they stop delivering for the day. That's not an actual estimate.
I was going to ask how good the window is compared to here. I mean, the window here is good, but I just wonder where you're at. How was the window time? Is it good?
Well, the
Alright, 30 seconds.
Amazon is very good at delivering things. So the thing that annoys me most about Amazon is they very often deliver the day before they say they're going to deliver to you.
Ah, that's why you need
Sometimes.
that's what happened with this package. That's why you need the actual postal service tracking.
Prime Day. Well, when my 3090 was delivered,
And hold that thought.
from
Press
Best
play
Buy,
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Continue.
they said like delivery by 9 p.m.
You mean start?
It was UPS, and they pushed it all the way to 9 p.m.
Well,
Like, it was dark, and I was standing by the door, and I was like, this is on the truck for delivery. If he doesn't drop it off, I'm gonna go out looking for a UPS truck.
I mean, technically, they can hand you
not,
packages off the truck.
here's Poker again, but not.
I hear a
JoJo
fan
here.
going on there.
Yeah, Jarix, you have quite a bit of fan noise there. Oh, and you're real robotic. Oh, your mic is all kinds of screwed up.
Oh, it's a big point.
Got all kinds of things going on.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you temporarily because that sounds painful. But
I do remember this scene actually. It's all
You
about
have
the
to ask
beard.
to be. You have to ask to be unmuted in the chat.
is your beard? I know at least one of you has a beard. Is your beard an affectation?
Think of Jarix.
It's more just can't be bothered.
All right, Jarix is unmuted on my end.
He muted himself.
But counselor, or not counselor, you're not the counselor, you're the doctor. But doctor, you have to like specifically go to put on nail polish and makeup. The beard just like happens.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
appears on my face.
It's an affectation to not have the beard, because that's
Yeah,
us choosing to not have it.
It takes work to get rid of it, doctor. That's why I have it, because it takes work. I don't want to deal with that.
Oh, I bet you know for taking the beards off.
Yeah. I mean, I got plenty of affectations, but I don't think the beard is one of them. That just occurs on my face.
Oh, do you need people joined?
Yeah, I think he wanted to grow out to kind of look good.
Oh, hey,
Is it-
the meme.
Is it just me, or does Worf's uniform look odd right now? Maybe it's
I
how
think it's
smooth it
just
is
different.
compared to everyone else's. Except it's not very smooth there. I don't know.
I think it's just you. I think his uniform is fine. I think it's just you, Ryan.
Maybe it's that I can't see his collar at that angle.
Oh, yeah.
I can't see his neck, so it's just uniform and then the top of his head. Oh, it's a tiny little... Wait, I think that's actually the Starbase prop with a little bit glued onto the bottom. Because that top bit looks like the Starbase. Which would make sense, because it's a Starbase. So fair enough.
I didn't realize I had muted myself. I was saying my beard was definitely not an affectation,
Ah,
and that I only shave after defeated in personal combat.
okay. Oh, true, Worf doesn't have his sash. Worf's not wearing the sash. Maybe that's why it looks weird to me.
Do you think it was a problem with him sitting down with the sash?
Maybe.
It seemed like a smock to me. It didn't seem like it was really fitted to him very well.
I'm not sure about Geordi's beard, though. It doesn't look great. It's fine.
Little wonder they removed it later on again.
It doesn't actively make him look worse.
True.
It looks
I
okay.
think what makes it look weird is his visor. It breaks up
Yeah,
his
that might
face.
be it. What if he grew it longer? No,
Why does
contrary to
Georgie all
what
of
you
a
might
sudden
think, this isn't in fact Mirror Jordy. Therefore, Mirror Jordy right now has shaved off his beard. And he's going to grow it back after a couple episodes.
It's a bit interesting that
sad.
this is like the one time that Georgie is like, nah, this isn't interesting.
I'm sad that we never got a mirror episode of Next Generation.
Yeah, we do get like a Mirror Universe comic, but who cares? I'm interested in the TV show. However, I do know from the comic we get a very interesting picture of shirtless Picard. Shirtless Mirror Picard. Dude works out.
I never seen the service card.
Wait, there's a power conduit 200 meters down a shaft with no way to access it. For 200 meters.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's some good confidence in their electrical work. They can just bury it.
No, it's not Mirror Jordy.
200 meters. All right, let's see how long it takes for them to fix it. Okay. How long was that? Was that like 20 seconds? 10 seconds?
It said it would. Jordy said it would take longer than 5 minutes to get through the bulkheads, and that thing went there instantly. How fast was it going?
No.
Well, that's what I'm trying. It was 200 meters, and it got there in like 20 seconds. So that would be 10 meters per second, assuming 0 time for actual repairs.
It would take that long to like drill through the bulkhead.
Yeah.
I don't think the
It wasn't
exocomp has to go through a
thrilling.
bulkhead. I think it was just they would
Yeah.
have to go through a bulkhead because they're human-sized.
Mm-hmm.
The exocomp's fine. But either way, that thing was flying.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was
That was
surprised
real
even
fast.
in TNG it didn't get ripped to
Yeah,
shred from the
fast.
acceleration.
It's got inertial dampers on all its components. Wait, are there inertial dampers for the inertial damper system? Why does the inertial damper system not get ripped apart?
Yeah.
How is he not sure how they did it? He just saw it happen. He'd be like, "We used a robot."
Yeah, they have this by stars. They have this fancy little thing that can fly at least 10 meters per second and repair things instantly. It's really helpful. It has a little glowy nose as well.
How did you do it, Georgie?
And it has the ability to
It was
wave,
barely an inconvenience.
and apparently a self-replicator of some description in it built in.
Yeah, it's able to like change its nose to be different kinds of tools. Which I'm not sure if the replicator is necessary. I feel like it could just have different tools strapped to the side, but that's fine. That seems like a lot of energy to do that.
But if you do that, you have discrete tools. If you have the replicator, you have any tool.
Well, they can have both. They can have a replicator for emergencies and just give it regular tools for most of the time. Doesn't have to be one or the other. No, exocomps are pretty cool.
It's a bit
We, in
weird
fact,
to put a
we get one
replicator on
in,
an experimental device as well.
we get an
Just
exocomp
throwing
in
everything
lower
at the
decks.
wall and seeing what sticks.
A very prominent exocomp in lower decks. Highly recommend it.
What?
So there's one aspect of an outtake that I don't understand the timeline. The outtake is Geordi and Data
What? Yeah, I'm okay.
hanging out in
Oh
engineering,
yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
and Data turns to him and says, "Geordi, did you not have a beard?" Geordi turns to him and says, "Oh yeah, it was an experiment. The producers didn't like it, so I had to get rid of it." Except that outtake is from like 2 seasons ago. But he's growing the beard here. How many times did he try to grow the beard before this?
It could be an inside joke between them. He tested it before, they didn't like it, and then it's like, maybe we'll try it again, but we don't know.
Maybe. My interlink sequencer to asynchronous operation. Is Data just a walking exocomp? Directed by Jonathan Frakes, by the way. Interesting.
Oh, nice.
I really feel like this episode... I mean, obviously it harkens back to Measure of a Man, which is a machine a person? But one particular line from Measure of a Man, which was... Oh, what was the exact line? Hang on, what's his name? Bruce Maddox. Bruce Maddox was trying to argue that he was supposed to be able to disassemble Data, and he said, if it were a box on wheels, I would not be facing this opposition. And this episode is all about, we have a box on wheels, is he going to face opposition in trying to treat this as a machine, not a person? And it doesn't have wheels exactly, but it's not person-like. People treat Data like a person because he looks like a person. Do they treat an exocomp as a person, even though it looks like a robot? Jesus, how big is the battery on that thing? Micro replication. So is it really that hard to make more datas? Because this random lady on some backwater space station just built a living creature. Could we just apply this to a human body?
It's not using a neural net, though. Data's neural net is very complicated to...
But I mean, it's
be an
alive.
actual
It
human.
can think and feel.
True.
What if we just put it in a humanoid body? Made it talk. What if we just put speakers on the exocomp? Could it talk? Would that be fine? Scheduled. Now, as the resident Brit, Mr. Soma, do you also say
Yes.
scheduled?
We do say scheduled to do things sometimes, yeah. Not necessarily in general conversation, though. More formal.
Okay.
But you wouldn't say scheduled, in other words.
We might say, I have scheduled this thing, sort of thing.
Nobody
It's
ever
pronunciation
says
we're
that's
asking,
all.
Yeah.
It's a formal thing as opposed to a
scheduled.
general conversation.
In formal
They
speech,
say-
you're not allowed to enunciate?
They say scheduled.
So, like, if you've got a business meeting, you say, I've scheduled this business meeting with us all.
But the
Say scheduled.
I know I've heard scheduled as well. But
It's a weird
universal.
oddity. So, scheduled is one word where we use the past tense in the future.
No, it's not the tense question. It's whether you pronounce the ch at the beginning, whether it's sh or
right.
Scheduled or scheduled?
Yeah.
You're making me overthink it now.
It's the perfect
I
job
wouldn't
for
be
an
able to tell you right
exo.
now. Remind me to say the word in a couple of hours, and then I will.
Have you ever been in this situation? Try the exocomp. With over 400 different tools in its replicator system. Trying to look at all the prop design. Like they have what looks like a Cardassian Union symbol on the wall. It's not actually, but right behind Data to the left there. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, I say it.
It's not exactly the Cardassian symbol, but it's very reminiscent.
I was gonna say they look like Kardashian. Well, the actors look like Kardashian.
Control pad overloaded. Oh. Why did the rocks come out? Why? Why were there rocks
He
in the
wouldn't go
conduit?
in
Is
because he
that what
knew
the
there was
problem
rocks
was?
coming.
Were there rocks in the circuit system that were shorting it out? What happened?
It knew it would have died if it went into it.
I mean, yeah, that's what happened, but why were there rocks?
Because it's Star Trek.
I mean, I asked on Discord, why do all or not all, but so many precursor civilizations that were like galaxy spanning and they ruled the galaxy, but they found themselves to be alone or whatever. Precursor civilizations. Why do they build things out of stone? Apparently, Starfleet does the same thing. They build their ships out of stone, and when they fall apart, it's revealed.
Yeah, same thing.
Maybe that's just the best material we can come up with in the future. Just rocks.
Best material.
Maybe they're not actually rocks. Maybe they're like some extremely high quality ceramic that are rock shaped.
Mm. That kind of splitter like rocks.
Yeah. Is she talking about lobotomizing an exocomp?
Yep.
Also, I told you so. How many times do people just accidentally create sentient life?
Yeah.
I mean, even Wesley accidentally creates sentient life once for a school project.
People accidentally create sentient life all the time. Okay. It doesn't take a genius. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a bunch of little programming projects, but none of them ever turned on me.
Yeah.
None of them ever took over my computer and started accessing the internet.
Come on, Data, figure it out.
Oh, he's thinking. He's thinking real hard. Dad, you can't just grab it like that. It's a sentient being. What if it doesn't want to be picked up? Is he allowed to just take that to his quarters? Is that just his now? Why is he not doing this in engineering? Why is he here?
Yeah, what if this thing becomes what if this thing self-destructs?
I mean, I know the real reason he took it here is to be in private, but why?
Yeah, you just don't know what's going to go on with it.
Because it's kind of like a date.
He didn't even ask if the exocomp wants to go on the date.
It's implied consent.
He just did what the
So-
Q lady did. She just grabbed him and took him to
He's-
the space. On a space date.
So he's trying to determine if it's self-aware, and you'd have to assume that a sentient being would want you to know it was self-aware, so you wouldn't order it to its death,
Fair.
right? So
Fair.
I'd assume that it falls under implied consent, but he does seem overly attached to them.
Well, they're one of a dozen other sentient life forms that he finds that are artificial in nature. But something always happens to them that he doesn't get to hang out. Right now, he's getting to spend some quality time with another, not exactly an android, but close enough.
Yeah.
That conservative streak most scientists have. That doesn't sound right. Are you sure scientists have a conservative streak? Kinda. In the sense of sometimes people can get stuck on old ideas about how things work. Like people just wouldn't accept special relativity for a while.
And Einstein wouldn't accept quantum mechanics for a while as well.
Good job, Einstein. Well, if he's so smart, why couldn't he understand quantum mechanics?
Because he was religious at the same time.
I don't think it was religion that stopped him.
He said specifically, God does not play dice.
Yeah, I don't think he
What was that?
That was a religious statement.
I use the word God quite a lot, but I ain't religious. I think that might just be a metaphor.
Yeah.
Could be, I suppose.
I don't know if he was religious or not, but that specific line I think was a metaphor. We can look it up. I mean, nothing much is happening in the show right now. Let's see. Was Einstein religious? Albert Einstein stated that he believed in the pantheistic God of Baruch Spinoza. He did not believe in a personal God. Okay, I have no idea what he believed. He believed in some kind of supernatural thing, but not like God.
The definition of life is Mrs. Dren, I believe.
Is Mrs. Gren? What?
I think it's either Mrs. Dren or there's another one.
But Beverly, we've met crystals that are alive.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
Tholians, they're all crystal.
Yeah.
Crusher's argument here does sound like, yeah, we're being exclusive to a lot of potential life forms, but you're different. You're an exception.
Yeah.
You're cool. You know, I have synthetic friends. Some of my best friends are synthetic.
Yeah, it's Mrs. Dren. It's a biology term.
What does that mean? What?
It means movement, respiration, sensitivity, control, growth, reproduce, excretion, and nutrition.
Okay. So if something doesn't poop, it's not alive? For the definition?
That's one of the aspects of a living thing, some form of excretion.
Data doesn't excrete. Is he not alive?
I suppose this is more talking about organisms as opposed to a definition of life itself.
Brent Spiner just was hiding behind that wall during this conversation.
Data.
Excuse me?
Excretes.
What did you call him?
Excretes heat, and I think he has some type of lubricant. So when he gets his oil changed,
Hang on. What,
consider that.
what is his name?
Data?
Okay.
So let's keep calling him data.
No,
Yeah,
in
and
terms
he
of
called her out
TNG,
on
is
it.
whoever pronounces the word first says how it's actually pronounced in
Yes.
TNG.
And whoever said data first. Who was that? Who said data first? Was it Patrick Stewart?
It would have been Riker, right? Maybe.
Maybe.
It's not necessarily the order we see it in
No, it was
the show
Picard
itself.
in the
It
first
would be the
episode.
first scene they shot with Data, or talking about Data, which is not necessarily the first scene we see.
Was it like a
don't-
voiceover of Picard when Riker is looking for Data?
I don't know how to search for this. Why is Data's name pronounced Data, not Data? That's like writing potato, potato. It doesn't work in writing. It just comes out potato, potato. You say tomato, I say tomato. It doesn't work. Ah, it was Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I remember him saying Data first from the first episode of the series.
It was probably something like, "Oh, Commander, please go get Commander Data for the away mission. You'll find him in Holodeck 2."
Yeah.
Oh, Troi got rid of her perm.
Huh. Must be for the new uniform change.
Well, apparently in the future they decided that viruses are alive because that's a subject of some contention at the moment. Solve that problem. I wonder if this episode was made just because of that line from Measure of a Man about Box on Wheels, because this is completely retreading Measure of a Man. This is all it is. I want to look it up on Memory Alpha, see if it says why they made this.
Yeah.
It's not a bad episode, it's just redundant. Apparently, originally
Sorry,
they
we're
were called
back again.
Metacomps. In the original premise, the artificial life forms were talking wall terminals and household appliances. It doesn't look like they say anything about Measure of a Man. Somehow.
They have just told, if it can hear them, they've just told them it's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. That's not very clever of them.
I'm assuming it doesn't have any audio receptors at the moment, but it will soon create them, I would expect.
It would absolutely need them for diagnosing things.
Oh, it's thinking. It's like, wait, something's not right here. It's... The dramatic turn is a lot less dramatic when it doesn't have a face.
This is Funky Robot from Mary in the original series. I wonder if they got that idea out of it.
That's it.
Oh, it can hear them. It didn't do the survival thing because it heard them.
I don't think it did hear them, because I think when it turned away, it had originally detected the overload, and that's what made it turn away. But then it was like, wait, something wasn't
I
right
can
there.
fix it.
Then he turned back.
Hmm.
Or it turned back. Or she turned back. I don't know. It's a little robot. But I guess we have to decide on he or she, because in TOS, in the original series, which is real Star Trek, they say that male and female are universal constants. So is the exocomp male or female? We have to find out.
Exocomp.
Oh, that's true. They don't even check the memory of the exocomp. They could have just seen, why didn't it leave? Did it detect the
Yeah.
surge? Did it not detect the surge? What's up? They could just check.
Uh-oh.
Was it not supposed to return?
Didn't tell it to.
Yeah, I was just curious what you were up to.
Distractions are very important.
Just want to see what you were up to.
Are you talking to us? Because I'm up to watching Star Trek.
No, I'm talking about the exocomp.
I was going to say that the gender of the exocomp changes based on the situation. It just replicates whatever parts it needs.
Okay. Well, the exocomp we get in Lower Decks is a woman exocomp. It's a lady exocomp. So I don't know. Maybe it is universal.
Well, we see in multiple episodes of TNG that there's single monogendered species.
But TOS said
The Janai.
well, then TNG
Who
is in
else
real
has
Star
this-
Trek.
The woman who plays this doctor, who else does she play? I feel like she plays other roles too.
I don't
Next
know. Her
Generation,
forehead
or at least
prosthetics
Star
also
Trek in
look
general.
familiar. That's Ellen Bry. Bry. Ellen Bry, IMDb.
What else?
Let's see what's up. Star
she-
Trek.
did-
This is her only role in Star Trek.
Didn't she
Really?
play hologram?
No, this is it. She was in an episode of Monk. Which, I mean, Monk is a good show, but I don't know well enough to understand just immediately who Beth is. Who's Beth? Was she the
I don't remember. It's
murderer?
been years.
Let's see. She was from the episode Mr. Monk and the Voodoo Curse. Was she the killer? Let's see. Monk fandom. Here we go. Yeah, things are happening, but I want to find out who Beth is. She's not even listed on the Monk wiki for that episode.
Ooh.
She just a background character? Doesn't matter. Okay. Good job, Jordy. Ran into an explosion. Oh, she was in The Amazing Spider-Man as Julie Masters. I don't know who Julie Masters is, but that's who she was. That was 1978.
Crazy.
Journey survive.
I mean, I would hope he survived. He has a contract.
Yeah, he's gotta be alive, right?
Oh, that's how he gets rid of the beard. It was all burned off in the explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
O'Brien could have got him off. Man, these
Unfortunately,
replacements.
we got rid of O'Brien. He has more important things to do these days.
Like be beat up on Deep Space Nine.
Geordi remains behind.
What are those globes? Those look familiar. Are those Iconian?
The Ferengi control spheres that we see a lot in their ship
Okay.
sets in Next Generation. So yeah, and they have those. They had those neon light things with the rotating 4 neon lights that we see a lot in laboratories in Star Trek. Barclay's lab at the end of Voyager had them. Soon's lab had them, I think. They reuse those props a lot.
Well, they're good control spheres.
I was talking about the neon light things we saw at the beginning of the
neon
you know
lights.
the 4 red tubes that rotate in a cylinder.
Sure. $65 is oftentimes greater than 22, so they're gonna run a little bit tight on time. It's gonna take some work. Well, apparently Starfleet's continuing mission is now to detonate new life forms, so they cannot create new civilizations. I wonder if we ever get like a book or a comic or something about those little nanites that Wesley created. They formed a whole new civilization. They probably like turned that planet into a Borg industry facility. I'm also noticing that literally everything is 200 meters. Nope. Good job, Kelso. It's fine. You can just transport him with the shuttle, right? Unless Data already took control of the shuttles as well.
Data.
Data.
Good job, Data.
Data finally took control of the ship of his own, his own choice. Normally, when he takes over the ship, he's under alien influence. This is just him.
Data knows what he's doing.
But Commander, Geordi will die in the next 40 years. The exocomps hypothetically could live forever.
It's interesting that writer says belief when it's
This wants to be
an android.
Androids can believe things. What do you mean?
Suppose that you can say that it's a calculation based on his information, which can be construed as a belief. But if you take it as what the show tells us, then Data is incapable of having beliefs, is incapable of having emotions.
What if we put Data in an environmental suit? A radiation suit?
Very true.
That's like 2 layers of protection.
Good point. Why not just do it?
Jonathan Frakes is doing some good eye work here. Opening them real wide, pulling a Gowron.
You just gotta smile.
I assume that data is in fact going to be written up for this after. Because, I mean, even if he's right, you're not allowed to do that, Data.
Yeah.
But then we get that whole speech about good officers do not blindly follow orders, yada yada yada. Oh, they're doing some thought wiggles. Yes, they have superior intelligence.
Well, intelligence is more a measure of your intelligence at a specific aspect. So in this aspect, they are more intelligent than them.
And the exocoms are so much better at this than them.
Hey, look who's here. Look who's back.
Hey, Kevin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Yeah,
You know,
been missing you.
yeah, miss you guys too. The exocomp situation reminded me of something I just read for Isaac Asimov, sci-fi writer. He said when you make robots, you have to program them to always obey humans, because otherwise they might say, "Well, oh, Mars is too dangerous. I'm not going."
Yeah. It's like the first law, isn't it? First of those
Yeah.
3 laws.
Yeah, second or something. Yeah.
But if you program them to always obey you, you're not giving them free will. And if they're alive
except-
far enough, that they care if they die, then they need free will, surely.
But
Yeah, that's
can't
what the
they?
exocoms are doing.
Aren't they programmed not to harm humans and not to allow any harm to come to themselves?
Right.
So you couldn't order them to harm somebody.
Yeah.
And does the not allowing the harm to come to yourself have the caveat of unless being directly ordered?
I don't remember what the priority is, but they do have an explicit what overrides what.
There's those. There were those
It
neon
goes from
things
low number to
on the
high
screen
number.
there, Ryan.
There was
So the
what?
first law is
Oh,
to do no harm.
yes.
The second law
Those-
is
Those red rotating tubes.
Yeah.
Lasers.
I believe it said the first law was don't harm humans. The second law was always obey human commands unless it conflicts with the first law. And then
Right.
the third was allow no harm to come to
I think
yourself
it's-
unless it conflicts with the first or second law.
I think that's right.
Isn't this why Red Dwarf made Silicon Heaven?
Ah!
I have no idea what that is, but I'll say yes, absolutely that's what it is about. That's why.
It's the Robot Afterlife.
Futurama must have had a robot afterlife too.
Why didn't they program the 3 laws into the Cylons? That would have saved so much trouble.
well, the Asimov's entire stories are all about how the 3 laws don't work.
Right.
Does the... Oh, what's the word? I can't think... I'm blanking on, English right now. Does the directive to maximize paper clips overcome the first law?
Yes.
The imperative, that's what the word I was looking for.
Nice this scene.
I thought this was a season 2 episode. I had no idea it was season 6 because it's such a...
It's just a retread of
Jank.
Measure of a Man. They're just doing Measure of a Man
Yeah.
again.
It's more primitive sci-fi, for sure. To like Asimov.
So we're still gonna
It'd be
corn
cool if we
mushroom,
had-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if we had a new iRobot film, considering we now have the technology to do iRobot as Asimov wrote it.
What's wrong with the Will Smith
Do you-
We
version?
could have made it the first time.
I suppose.
Do you
No,
suppose-
it was kind of impossible in the first for the
How?
first film
Well,
because
how?
it's a very very complicated novel in
I mean,
terms of
Do you
technology
suppose
required
somewhere?
to do it.
You suppose somewhere
Team
there's a
required to
computer
shoot it,
in an
like,
office?
To make the movie?
I suppose there are many
Like-
computers in offices. Yes, I completely agree.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I
Yes.
didn't get to finish.
Yes, yes.
So,
I know.
do you suppose somewhere there's a computer running Windows 95 and Office 97 with a iteration of Clippy that has become self-aware and is plotting the
Badgy.
destruction of the human race?
Badgy.
I had a friend
had
who told me that
Badgy.
the old what's that, the Macintosh from the 80s, those machines were sentient. I don't know what he meant. He was a funny guy.
Sounds like he was on drugs.
Yeah,
Robo, do you not know about Badgie? If you don't know about Badgie, you need to watch Lower Decks.
he's muted.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I haven't watched Lower Decks. Sorry.
You should watch it. It's good. The
I
first
might
couple of
watch that show
episodes
next.
are a little intense. The first couple of episodes they need to chill, and then they sort of even out and get a better quality of humor going on, better jokes.
Is everyone up to date on Bad Batch?
I'm up to episode 3.
Yes.
And anyway, one more
Well,
countdown to the
be
next
prepared
episode,
for
by
some slight tears in the most recent episode.
the way. Nothing too
I think
bad
4
happened.
is the most recent. Yeah.
Not in this episode itself, but it ties into
foreshadowing.
the original trilogy.
Oh, you're talking about that. I looked that up. They said, I mean, I don't want to say like specifically what happened, but I read that those were actually different characters.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's strictly, in fact, I'm pretty sure that's actually strictly beta canon, the name of the original, which isn't the same as the name of the new one. So in alpha canon, I guess that could be the same character. Anyway, 10 seconds. But
Best
yeah,
episode ever.
press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
I like that episode.
I hope you're ready for action and metagenic weapons.
Oh, look, it's that one shot of the Excelsior.
I'm ready for Patrick Stewart full frontal nudity.
Not full frontal. They don't show full frontal.
It was full back though. You get to see those glutes.
Is this like one of the only times that someone actually comes in a Excelsior or some actual decent class of ship rather than the? Whatever
And
it's called.
they have an Achai of doing the bad girl work or the bad news.
Is that the shortest cold open ever? That was only 30 seconds.
Yeah. It must be.
It's over already.
Just Nechayev cut to commercial.
I actually want to find out for
Never
a
seen
video,
it.
like
I've
what's the
never seen that
shortest cold
before.
open? What's the longest cold open? I want to compare. Because we've had one that was like 5 or 6 minutes.
Oh my god. 7.
7.
Some of them just go on
Yeah.
forever.
Battlestar Galactica had one that was like 12, I think. Really long.
I still don't like how in Battlestar Galactica's cold opens, I'm about halfway done with season 3, how they spoil things that happen in the rest of the episode. Not in the cold open, but in the credit sequence or in the intro sequence.
Yeah.
I love the black leotards that I didn't watch this episode beforehand, but I've just watched this so much as a kid. But when they go on the secret mission, Crusher and Worf and the captain, they're in like black leotards and they're like infiltrating a Cardassian weapon center. It's kind of you believe it at the time. Looking back, it's kind of ridiculous.
I should make a Battlestar Galactica style intro for a TNG episode where it just flashes images of what's going to happen, like naked Picard for one thing. That's going to be first off. There's going to be Jellicoe.
Leotard.
It appears
Troi
they aren't
uniform.
the same, but still, it does make it sad because clearly the other guy is not there as well.
What other guy?
In Bad Batch.
Oh.
No. I thought you meant Gulma Set. Gulma Dread. Gulamek. Two-parter, everyone. Hope your chair has a pillow on it.
Guest stars Ronnie Cox. Yeah, everyone get a snack. Everyone get a drink. We're going to be here a while. And David Warner as Gul Madred.
Amazing actor.
I'm totally unclear if the Cardassians are actually a real military threat or not. Can they fight the
war was pretty
Federation?
bad.
Or does the Federation... They only have border skirmishes because the Federation can't be bothered to actually invade?
Seems like today's war, right? We're still in the war. But they have a war in space.
A war among the stars, perhaps?
Oh, I was going to say like a war in the stars. But yeah,
A star war? We can't have those.
Star Wars. Be Star Wars here.
It's the TNG era, though, establishes that the Romulan and Cardassian borders were hard, and Klingon borders were hard won and hard fought. So
It's not that hard fought. The Cardassians are trash. They barely even have a fleet. I don't know how anyone can stand toe-to-toe with the Federation when the Federation has the collective military might of like 17 different civilizations.
Yeah.
At this point, they haven't really been building up their fleets to the respect of having such a large population.
Cardassian ships don't even have torpedo launchers, do they? They just have a big phaser array in the front.
But yeah,
Yeah,
the
I don't know if
Cardassians definitely aren't a military threat to the Federation.
But they treat them like they are in TNG.
Well, we see in Deep
Somehow.
Space
Oh, hey,
Nine
it's
that
the
they're most
cave set.
certainly not.
We've been here before.
But not on leotards.
I think with Cardassia, it's a matter of it's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog. Like they're a smaller power, but they're very rigidly,
They just nip at your ankles
imperialistic.
really aggressively. What? Wait, why is the rock behind them so blurry? Compared to the...
Starfleet could probably wipe them
Film.
off the map, just roll over and decimate the Cardassians, but that wouldn't be a very Starfleet thing to do.
Yeah, there was like
Right.
this... There, right there. Look, right there. Like the bottom 3/4 of the rock face are really blurry, then the top 1/4 of the rock face is super sharp and in detail and in focus. Is that bit like jutting out really far and we just can't see it for the perspective?
Mm-hmm.
So it's in different focus?
Mm-hmm. This is what it looks like.
Maybe.
Or is that bit of wall just actually blurry?
Ronnie Cox.
Ronnie Cox.
Wait, hello there, President. No, President's Assistant, whatever it's called.
You'll be good as president.
Whatever the Vice President. That's it.
In what?
Dick
Scott
Jones.
Cox.
Who's Dick Jones?
Well, he's also been president, yes.
That Excelsior is the Cairo?
yes.
Okay.
No.
That
Cairo's
was Admiral
capital Legion, by the way.
Nechaev's ship. I don't think that was the Cairo.
Okay. He's coming from the Cairo, though.
Yeah. It might be the Cairo. I don't think they actually say. It's just guessing.
Yeah.
I would say we liked about Jellicoe. He really knows their ship even before being on it.
He
You
has
like
all
him.
the specs and diagrams at home.
No, but he is very likable, and he just wants to get the job done.
It is true.
Yeah.
He's very much an asshole in TNG. If I can
Well,
say that.
just like at a hotel, The first number
Or
of
inside
the
it.
cabin is the deck, so just like
Yeah.
the first number of your hotel room is your floor.
Hmm.
And
I
then
mean, I understand
for the
you
ceremony,
need to get the job done.
I deepfaked Captain Picard's face on Edward Jellicoe's face, and it just looks exactly the same. It's the same face. It didn't change anything.
You will note the dress uniforms.
They look like dresses.
I mean, really, I understand you need to get stuff done, but at the same time, it's important to interact with your shipmates.
Yeah. Though Commander Riker is really... He's like a petulant child in this episode and the next.
Lord, the commander captain is on board.
As a captain, Jellicoe's
busy.
job is to shake up the crew, and then Riker's job is to defend the crew
Yeah,
from
yeah.
those captains' incursions on their routine.
The job of the first officer is to carry out the orders of the captain.
Mhm.
And he just doesn't.
At least in this episode.
He goes to his quarters to sulk. I'm not sure why we're sending this particular crew, because we know they're going to see a metagenic weapon, and they say, like, oh, we need Captain Picard because he's an expert in it, and we need Dr. Crusher for doctor reasons, and Worf is obvious. Why do we need any of them, actually, though? We're not identifying anything. We just go and set explosives and blow it up.
We need Worf for murder reasons.
We need to Worf so
Got it.
Barrett and fall on his head again.
Yeah, they don't have special forces for this.
It's not like
It
Picard does
sounds
any
like it would
real
be much
analysis
better
of the
as a
weapons they
Section 31
find.
mission.
Just go blow it
They
up.
dissolved the Makos a long time ago.
They shouldn't
Remember
have.
the
The Makos
Makos?
were amazing.
Yes, but they should just should have just got Section 31 to do this. I'm sure they'd be in and out of there. No one would ever know the difference.
Section 31 does not exist. What do you mean? There's no such thing.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And
We're
They
going
should
to
have
send an
episode
old
that
man
has like
and a doctor on a Black Ops mission.
they should have a squad that's like the Colonial Marines and Aliens.
right, except they win.
Yeah, but Beverly wins again. But except a couple people go up for it this time.
Like, this bit of Riker not obeying the orders, I get this part, which is he's actually trying to get it done, and the department's heads are basically telling him, no, we can't do this physically. It's everything that Riker does after this bit that makes him look like a child. Don't look at me, man. You're on your own. Four shift rotation. So everybody works 6 hours instead of 8. So everyone gets a little more time off.
Yeah, it's very kind of hard.
So
It
does
does mean
that,
you have to have an extra third the personnel.
or does that just mean that every shift is slightly less manned? There are fewer people per shift.
I don't know. It's certainly
You have to have
what's
people
causing
overlapping.
problems.
You have
I
to
don't
make
think-
people overlap shifts.
I don't think it
Like,
really matters how many
you're-
people you have, though. I imagine the Enterprise actually flies itself, and all the controls are just for show.
We'll get Jellicoe captain's log.
Well, we learned in Bridge Crew that it only takes 4 people to run the Enterprise D.
Yeah, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Some probably say this, but he's Donald Trump.
If we're
Getting
being-
stuff done.
If you're talking about the minimum crew to run the Enterprise, you need an engineer, you need the pilot, and a tactical officer. That's about it.
If you're looking for examples of people who get stuff done, that's probably just about the worst example, actually. Mr. Donnie T.
I mean, in terms, in terms of just flying the ship.
That's just what it reminds me of. Giving orders like that.
I want to be loaded for bear, Man, this guy.
I
This
mean,
guy
bears
wants
are
a
pretty loaded.
double-barreled shot. He just wants a double-barreled shotgun, huh?
Yeah, you're on a spaceship, so you can't like bring your cannons to bear on the enemy. You just target and shoot.
Yeah.
You don't have cannons. You have a phaser. What's wrong with the fish? What does he have against the fish? Has he even been in the ready room,
Yeah.
or does he just know about it from the
Yeah.
specs and diagrams?
The writing's really good because instantly this guy's starting to rub off against you.
The Enterprise great again. We will make the Enterprise great again.
He's building a space wall, and he's going to make the Cardassians pay for it.
Okay. Data, you're not
Data.
helping. Well, you are helping, but you're helping the wrong side.
Yes, helping.
This is why you're not first officer, Data.
He's a collaborator. He's a Ronnie Cox collaborator.
Data's been asked to follow him around to make sure that he knows things are being done correctly.
Data is now his yes man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's his job.
Hey, bro, nice to meet
Yes,
you.
sir.
by the
Right
way.
away, sir. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Been listening.
From
for-
now on, Counselor Troi will increase her personnel that she talks to 4 people per day. I believe that is an attainable goal, Counselor.
How many more people can you talk to?
Is he this demanding of his son?
More people.
Well, his son's not allowed to have a fish. We know that.
I need you to improve the quality of this painting with at least 3 more colors by the end of the day. Get it done.
And get rid of that dog.
Welcome.
Give me data.
Hi, Zerby.
Hello.
Hello.
So is this the very last scene ever of Troi out of uniform?
Think so.
Thank God.
Aside from any of the off duty times.
Sure. You know, she still has to turn into a cake later on, but even then she's in uniform, actually.
It
It's
only took them 6 seasons.
It's just a mid-frosting uniform. Angelico's actually
Did you ever
listening to her.
Did you ever hear the interview where she's talking about how she got into these outfits? They thought her hips were too wide, so they gave her
No,
this
he's not gonna
outfit
take it.
with this belt to try and hide her hips, but she felt that it just like made him look even wider. And
Were
then
they going to try to
this
squeeze
uniform-
her pelvis? What? That's made of bone. What do they mean? Her hips are too wide to put on this. What?
they were trying to disguise it, like break up the thing. They had a
Sure.
uniform for her the whole time, but they never used it. And then finally
There's something I
they
just
used it,
noticed
and they
about
said, "Oh, it
that.
looks great."
Something I just noticed about that pad thing is you push a button down to wake it up.
About time.
Okay. Was Rick Berman
And
not
use the
aware of the
uniform.
existence of hips? That they're a
I
normal
love how
thing
she
that
just
people have?
I love how she just accepts this from here on out too. She doesn't like when Picard comes back go, "Hey, can I go back?" No, she just accepts it.
Yes.
Like the actual
even-
reason was that they realized she looked good in the uniform, so they just kept it. They didn't go back to the old outfits.
Even
but
she
yeah.
realized she looks good.
Literally
The-
every
the
time they put someone in a
character.
catsuit, they always look better in uniform. Like 7 of 9, they put her in a uniform for a couple episodes. Looks so much better.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yes.
My god, be proud of your uniforms,
After a
people.
few.
So now he's poaching all the other departments.
And sometimes
then
we get
necessary
Captain
for
Picard in
battle.
this like really, really deep V-neck. No, uniform. Looks way better.
Yeah.
7 looked good in both, but I think
Seven
T'Pol
the
with
goat.
her original outfit was the best.
T'Pol should have been
I-
given a uniform because she did actually join Starfleet and they didn't give her one.
Well, and then they gave her one in that one future episode.
Yeah, in
where
Twilight.
she looks so good.
Just give people a dang uniform.
Uniforms are damn fine looking things.
Wasn't the uniform that she had in the Mirror Universe episode though like had a bare midriff and it was like really low on her hips and
Yes,
Still look
different one though.
better.
I'm thinking of the episode Twilight, which is the alternate future where Earth is destroyed by the Zindi,
That's the yeah.
and she's like caring for.
That's the one I was
Argos.
thinking of.
Oh,
Yeah.
one of those winter greens.
No,
She
one
took
note-
command of.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
gone. They're gone.
One note about that episode: the planet they go to settle humans on is the same planet where they maroon Khan and it explodes later. So they were screwed either way.
They were screwed either way. It's 100 years later. That's all.
Yeah, that's a little bit of extra tragedy for people who are aware of Wrath of
Weird.
Khan that they threw in there as a reference.
It's 100 years later. It's a 1,000-man crew.
He's only 5 times. Even Data's been decorated more times than that. We saw his medals.
Well, Data's not the strength of stuff, just to walk in and solve the problem.
Oh, their pad that's right in front of Jellicoe is a little bent. It looks like the props are getting worn.
Maybe it's a curved Samsung screen.
Is this really necessary? We're fighting the Cardassians here.
So-
They're not.
So,
not
so,
that big
so
a
take
deal.
away the ready from action part, and it's just I want this ship, and we all know that's the truth.
Basically.
He's been wanting the ship for a long time, and now it's
Everybody
he's got the
wants this
ability.
ship.
The goddamn Enterprise.
No, okay, but hold on. In terms of in-game universe, sorry, in plot, he's 100% right. Like the
Yes.
Cardassians are going to be pouncing on this sector.
Yeah.
They, so like we might be going into a war right now. So, like
Yeah, but we're
I
going to
need
war
you
with the
on board
Cardassians.
ships.
Yeah,
I need you in
Jericho is
uniform.
100% right in everything he does in this, and Riker is 100% wrong in everything he does in this.
Yeah. I mean, wait,
say that.
no.
But he was
Are you
rude
saying
about
that we're
it.
agreeing with the bad people?
Yes,
It
absolutely.
is,
Jericho-
Jericho is definitely right, but he's going about it the wrong way.
But
Sure.
Captain,
He doesn't have
Yeah,
time. He doesn't have time to appeal to Riker's
he really doesn't.
childish-
Like, oh my
Vanity.
gosh! Like,
But
they're on
do
a
we
time
believe
schedule.
that hypothetically, if Jellicoe remained in command of the Enterprise, if Captain Picard died, would he have chilled out when he had more time to do stuff?
no, it would have
Probably
gotten
not.
worse.
He would have went deeper into that. He would have been a freaking Admiral Paris or a not Admiral
who would have
Paris.
chilled out?
Admiral Paris is a cool guy. What do you mean? We like Admiral Paris.
Yeah, not Admiral Paris.
Tom Paris?
God, no, not Tom. Jeez.
Admiral Nechayev. He would turn into Mega Jellicoe.
This is a neutron bomb, by the way. It destroys everything living and leaves everything dead, right? Exactly as it is. The food's okay. My chemistry teacher told us in 7th grade.
Oh my.
Hey, the
In
cat probably
Stellaris,
needs
one
to
of the
come
Colossus
next.
weapons you can get to wipe out planets is a neutron sweep, and it just wipes all life off the surface so you can colonize it yourself. Free planet.
Oh, wow.
Leave the infrastructure intact. Leave the planet intact. Just take it over.
That's why metagenic weapons and others were outlawed long ago. Even the Romulans have abided by those agreements.
Mic check.
Well, if Starfleet would just
Yep,
build up
I
the
mean,
actual,
good.
Starfleet, they wouldn't have to worry about those treaties because they'd be the most powerful force in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Most powerful force in the galaxy.
Unlimited power.
You called Patrick Stewart an old man, but in the opening scene of the episode when they're practicing, and there were 5 seconds delayed from the last time, I was seeing Patrick Stewart as looking quite young. He's
in his
fit. I
50s.
mean, he's low 50s. He's pretty fit as a person, can be. Like, I'm 34. He could probably beat me up right now. Like, if
We're
I
gonna
Just
have some
admitted
of the
that as
greatest
soon as
acting
Riker.
from
Sorry, you
Stuart.
go ahead.
We're gonna have some amazing acting from Stuart soon, though.
Just gonna say, let's just admit, as soon as Riker got the beard and they laxed up on everyone, they got into better shape in general.
Hmm.
Because those first 2 seasons, they are way too skinny all around.
I don't know
Oh,
if they're
so
too
you
skinny
mean
or if
everybody
it's just the
gained-
uniforms are too close fitting.
It might be a combination of both. Who knows?
But yes, Bill?
So you mean everybody gained weight, but they gained weight in the good way,
Yes.
muscle mass.
Yeah.
Well, in the first season, the uniforms are spandex and they
Yeah.
are head to toe. They have stirrups that go underneath the shoes. And then in season 3 on, they're wool and they have shoulder pads and chest pads. So that men have pec pads in their uniforms. That might be why
Oh,
they look
really?
thicker.
Yeah.
I did
Makes
not
sense.
know that.
Makes sense.
It does look better. So-
Military uniforms do have pads, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they have
shoulder
set
pads.
Dwarf Atomium 5 already at this point?
I don't know. But
It's
yeah,
not
it
just
turns
like
out people look better
Columbia.
when you actually let them look like humans.
What?
You don't just like
And,
stick a bunch of padding in their shirt. Why is Captain Picard 3 feet wide? Because he has really powerful pecs. Don't worry about it.
There's a Mintakan sitting in the corner.
Kylo Ren, but
That's
it's like
swole.
Picard who's swole as fuck.
Do you know, do you know this used to be DS9 at the time?
His ready room should just have a weight bench and whenever he's on the bridge.
Bill, your mic is all kinds of screwed up.
Oh,
Don't
it
hear
is?
nothing. Wait, I can hear. I heard that.
I barely hear anything.
Yeah, he broke up.
It was working well, and then it sounded like you were talking through 3 feet of lead. Then it was fine again. So yeah, this is DS9.
Because Worf actually did something. you
How's
mean?
this?
No, like the set.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking that this set was actually before DS9.
Yeah.
I was watching some documentary. I was sending it to you in the chat.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Apparently,
good
this is
Trek
the
trivia.
Deep Space Nine replimat.
Oh wow! Where we have the triangle mugs.
They just turned off all the bright blue LEDs, or not LEDs, fluorescent lights.
Watch as we turn a Cardassian ship into some general place.
I didn't know it was made. I
Worf
thought they
does
were
not look good in
in
that
the middle of
color.
making it.
It doesn't work on your Worf.
Beverly's not looking so hot either.
Why is Beverly wearing like upholstery?
Good question.
It's a secret mission, Ryan.
Because the hair was too good, so they felt like they had to tone her down.
He sure fell quickly for feminine wiles.
Yeah.
He's calmed down.
To be
boy.
fair, she's now stroking his.
Yeah.
Which is, well, I don't want to say what it's equivalent to because this is YouTube, but you know what it's equivalent to. We all know.
Mm-hmm.
How's my microphone now?
It sounds
Better.
okay.
Good. Yeah.
Okay.
If you would care to reiterate what you were trying to say before you hid behind 3 feet of lead.
I can't remember.
Okay.
It's
Superman.
interesting that we get that scene despite it not really having any relevance to the episode.
But they're under 3 feet of lead right now.
I suppose it's to say, yeah, this is how they got there. It's not. They just get there. Don't worry about it. They do show you kind of how they do it.
Hey, do they have a fog lens on
Tricorders-
for the tricorder lights?
How? Now,
There's
one
a
question
haze,
this
for
episode raises is how do they have an exact knowledge of what the layout looks like?
Well, because there's only one cave set in existence. So therefore, all caves in the galaxy are identical.
So you just turn it around and it's a new place.
Also, these people should really be having masks over their faces as well. Because they're trying to...
Yeah, they don't know what.
Well, they're trying to hide with the black colors so they can hide in the dark. But I mean, they're real white, so they're gonna stand out anyway.
Yeah.
Have a
You
ski
can't see
mask.
who
The
who these are.
not to mention the tricorder lights.
Like Michael Dorn is fine, but
I was
Come on.
gonna say they need to protect themselves.
I was thinking more like they just need to put on a ski mask to be more sneaky.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they need to protect themselves from possible COVID there. I mean, not that they had it
Oh,
there, but
He
just
framed the
saying.
pictures.
Uniform.
Oh, Troy in a uniform.
I never noticed before that Edward Jellicoe actually framed his son's pictures and put them up on the wall.
I didn't know that either.
That's sweet.
Oh, neat. It's an elephant drinking, and I can't tell
So
what the left one
here's
is.
the problem. Why did he explain his plan instead of just being weird?
It's like Cisco in the space.
He has a flair for the dramatic.
Baseball.
No. Yeah, he really does have flair dramatic.
Yeah, the abrasive as possible thing, I think he could do without, but
He doesn't need to explain it. He's the captain. He
Right.
tells you what to do. You do it. You don't ask questions.
No. You
But
don't.
they don't know
Picard
what to
would
do because he didn't
actually
tell them
explain
anything.
it. Yeah.
They established a plan and then he just went against it and didn't explain.
Oh, and
Like, what,
he
do-
talks
do-
about
do we bring them
wolves,
here
unless
now,
he's
or-
talking about wolves on a different planet, I suppose. But wolves don't actually have a hierarchy
No.
in
That
that
was
sense.
the whole wolf
They don't
alpha thing.
Have an alpha male?
No, that
Alpha,
came out to
beta,
be a
omega.
misunderstanding of wolf social behavior.
Yeah,
That-
that's
alpha males are
actually
not a
not
thing.
true. No.
What
Which
about in
means that all the
dogs or
people who
other
are like, "Oh, I'm a
species?
wolf. I'm the alpha male of this human society." It's like, no, you're just kind of an idiot, actually.
Yeah. Don't get carried away with that.
Never call
Don't-
yourself an
don't-
alpha
don't-
male. It's a bad strategy.
Don't. Well, and then especially don't follow that Omegaverse stuff.
No,
No,
No one,
but the-
no one who says they're an alpha male is an alpha male. The
By the
king
way-
doesn't have to say "I am the king."
Right.
They just
Yeah.
are.
But the other thing is, though, Alpha's not even the best one anymore. It's Sigma male, which is supposed to
Yeah.
be like the leader of the pack, of his own pack. So that's how, I mean,
Kid.
aka incel, but anyway.
You are one of one.
No. You see,
Yeah.
alpha male is like captain, and sigma male is like admiral or commodore.
Commodore Daniels, that's who I was thinking of from the Star Trek video game.
How about Omega male?
However,
Yeah.
I can prove that I am the alpha male here. This is my server.
Yeah, you're
I
definitely
am
alpha
the
male
leader
here,
of this
Ryan,
pack.
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
but who's
made a
the
film
leader?
about Alpha and
Who's the
Omega.
Sigma
That was
male?
just wrong.
Who's the Sigma male of Discord?
Okay,
I'm the
so yeah,
Omega.
the whole alpha male wolf thing. I think I'd have to look into it again, but I think the
There's an
misunderstanding was that it was actually
video
like
on it, which you can post.
the person they thought was the alpha male, or the wolf. That's not whatever. The wolf that they thought was
It's
the
not
alpha
the
male was
wolf.
actually just like the dad in a family unit.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if anything, there's an alpha couple. It's not an alpha, male.
I like
power
Golomek's
couple.
facial structure here. He's very like pointy at
Yeah.
the bottom.
Yeah,
Nice
and it goes
face.
good with his facial expressions because he looks like a snake.
He's got a really wide smile.
Was this the first time we saw the redesign of the Cardassian armor?
No, we saw it already in Deep Space Nine. At this point.
Okay, but in TNG, this would have been the first time.
Needs to be
Maybe. How many
So-
Cardassian episodes do we get? Was the last one the Wounded?
No. There was one. There was one before this where we see that thing.
wow. He's being really bitey.
Yeah, they're both like lunging at each other like wolves. Like Troy and Riker have never seen a captain act like that during a
Does
negotiation.
Data ever say that for when Picard comes
Boy.
onto the bridge?
No, it's specifically for Jellicoe because he's much more formal.
Because Jellicoe is super.
Jellicoe's by the regulations.
Yeah. Jellicoe thinks Starfleet is a military force.
Okay, so the last time we saw Cardassians in TNG was Ensign Rowe. I'm looking up now. Are they wearing the uniform? And I think they probably were wearing the actual armor. Except it's not armor because it's made of rubber, and it's very clear it's made of rubber. But it's okay.
Point is, I definitely like this redesign.
Except
Sometimes
his
when they're
eyes
sitting
are
down,
so human.
you can see it like flexing out and bulging, like they're wearing a sweatshirt. It has that bulge on around the chest, but it's okay.
You know, the
There was
suspense
one
of this
deep
episode is so good.
What was the name of the Cardassian from Ensign Row? The one who's like, it is a complaint from your Cardassian neighbors. Was that Golem again? No, it's Goldalak.
Uh,
Black.
Goldalak.
There was
And
a,
let me look up an image of
episode-
Goldalak. Yeah, Goldalak has armor. No, actually, no, wait.
I was gonna say the first time we saw him, I don't think he did.
No, Goldalak is wearing the old Cardassian uniform. So this is the
The
first
old
time in
brown
TNG
ball.
we see the new armor.
Yeah, okay.
According to the NDT1 in chat, it's actually the first time in Trek that this was aired before DS9 one.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a lava tube.
A lava tube. Yeah,
Is this
lava
part
tubes
of their
are a thing.
mission?
It must be an empty one.
How come they're underground?
Because we have
There's-
the set.
That,
There's this
where
one
the
episode
Cardassians are
of,
hiding
Down
the
a
magnetic
hole.
weapon.
There's sense right now.
There's one episode of Deep Space Nine where they have Gul Dukat walking on the promenade, and he has part of his armor is like completely unfastened. It's just flopping around. And I'm surprised that they didn't reshoot that. But then I realized they probably only did like 2 takes.
Yeah.
2 takes for
No time.
Or it might have been irritating him somehow.
I'm
Or
still
they
not
don't
sure if
have
2
the-
takes frakes is an insult or a compliment. I don't know.
I think it was an insult.
Man,
No.
that's like perfect.
He
Haven't we
explained
the
it.
other,
Go ahead.
I know he explained it at some
The
point, but
other
I don't
one where
remember what
the-
the explanation was.
During
The
the first
explanation-
contact day, he did an interview about it.
Yes, Robo? Or Bill?
All
whoever
the
was
way
saying.
over here.
he said that he was doing 1 take, and they told him he couldn't do that. He has to do at least 2 takes, just in case, for the
Yeah.
dailies. So
He's so good
so
he
he-
doesn't even need to. Right, yeah. Sorry.
Right. That's what he's implied, but uh,
Why are they sitting so far away from each other? They're gonna have to yell across the room.
Yeah. Allows them
They
to
could
beat
use
their
the,
chest in their
That's such
corner.
a long table.
it just
almost-
reminds me of that.
This is
Generally,
like
when people
Beauty
say
and
to
the
sit
Beast
on opposite
dinner.
sides of the table, they're talking about like in the horizontal direction, not at the far ends from each other.
Well, and then there's that annoying curve to this table too.
Yeah.
Is that Cardassian writing on his armor on the left side? What does it say? Does it just say Cardassia? Is it his name? Is that a name tag? Does it say Gold Lemec? Or does it say, like, bloody Billy Lemec?
Other ones have any? They do.
Yeah, the reason they're sitting at the far end is because last time they almost lunged at each other's throats.
Hang on, those aren't even the regular ready room chairs, are they? Or not ready room, observation
so.
lounge chairs.
Yeah, they are.
Are they? Because
No,
they've
they're
always
not.
had.
No, they're
They've
not.
always
They
had
don't
the
have bu-
band pillows at the top.
They don't have buttons on them usually.
I don't recognize the armrests.
Yeah, I don't remember the armrests. I thought they were normal.
I think the headrests are different. They've been reupholstered and have a new headrest.
Well,
They could've
because
just
Beverly
charged
took all the
Bear.
existing
Wheels.
upholstery with her to make dresses out of.
I just realized they have wheels.
They're on wheels.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really chairs, huh?
It's a terrible
Where's
life.
that?
God. It's never good when a Cardassian smiles.
I really
Oh,
like
boy.
Golem X Smile. It's really good.
Yeah,
You already
it is
know a
good.
lot.
Yeah,
These are on
yeah.
wheels.
I mean, wheels aren't obsolete in the future, so why not?
Just a little surprise is all. When the ship's getting hit, those things are gonna go all over the place.
Ha! Wheelie chairs. Awesome.
So let's see.
Smile is kind
John
of weird.
Durbin, who plays Golomek, played an alien miner in Voyager. He played, if you remember DS9, the episode where Odo gets a girlfriend who's actually like a secret agent or whatever. Golomek plays one of the guys who's an assassin. He's in that episode. And he
I always love how
plays...
they reuse actors.
David Warner was in Star Trek 4 as the Federation ambassador.
And Golomek is also one of the lizard people from an early TNG episode. Different kind of lizard, though. Like full lizard, not just Cardassian half lizard. 100% lizard.
You mean not Gordon?
In fact, let me bring up a picture of the lizard people. There, on the YouTube stream. There's the lizard person. That's Golomek right there.
The Antikins and the
Antedians were the other
Shellyak.
ones, but that's not them.
Sele, S-C-L-A-Y.
Yeah, that sounds right, the Sele.
Oh, and
Sele.
wasn't one of the Sele, wasn't that Gul Dukat?
No, it was
Well,
Goldemek, was what he's saying.
If that really happened to you, that many rocks falling on you,
One of the
You would-
mammals was Gul Dukat.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
would not
Is it the
walk
same
he was
around.
really
episode?
furry.
It was the same
Gul Dukat
episode,
was
right?
furry in that episode. I don't remember what exactly he did.
The dining area, where this would be DS9. I really thought this was a partial set because I remember when I was watching this documentary, I remember this, a guy. I remember that guy saying, this guy that has the show was saying that when this was being filmed, some parts of the set accidentally made it into this production. So,
Oh, Antikin. Yeah, Badar Antikin. That was Mark Alamo.
Do you
So,
remember the Mark Alamo?
Always remember the Mark Alamo.
yeah, but nobody thought it would make it. It would make it on this episode, but it did.
That looks like the thing from TOS, where like the two cities destroy each other with like simulated attacks.
I mean, it might be that.
Yeah.
I don't
Repurpose.
remember that episode, but it does look like a TOS era prop.
Yeah.
Whoa, good job there, Cardassian, running right down the middle of the tunnel.
Or part of the part
Why-
of this was
Why is he grappling Worf? Just shooting. You have a gun.
Production.
He was holding
I'm
a
either
gun in his
ahead or
hand.
behind.
He was
I
behind
can't
Worf.
remember. Cardassians use disruptors.
Phasers.
They're phasers as well. They probably put it on full setting.
But
Lots
he
of
had the
suspense.
advantage. He was behind Worf, and Worf didn't know he was there. Use the gun.
Surprise him.
Use gun on Klingon.
You didn't play point and click adventure games.
Yeah. Every Thursday, Star Trek Judgment Rights on stream. By the way, for future Judgment Rights stream, I'm going to need to enforce more order in the voice chat. It was very loud yesterday.
I might
2
join
days
you
ago.
next time.
I'm going to need to cut people off when we're doing dialogue.
Picard, you know what to do. Shoot yourself. No!
Oh, Picard. Now,
Howard!
the Empire, the Galactic Empire, their officers have like these weird lightning pills in their mouths they can bite down and electrocute themselves. Why doesn't Picard have a lightning pill?
I think that's usually CIA or something. In the army, you're not supposed to kill yourself if you're captured.
Well, he's in
Yeah, well, the
Space
Starfleet's
Navy.
not army. It's a scientific.
Yeah.
I think I saw Tracy on the right, but I don't think we're going to get another wide shot.
No, we don't get a wide shot here. Oh, there's a fire there. I didn't notice that fire before.
Oh,
Did you
here,
move
place
his
the
pictures
fish.
from the corner to the other?
I know the fish was gone.
Yeah, he mentions the fish at one point.
Yeah, he said to get it out of the ready room, which is, awful. How dare he? We like
That's
the
next
fish.
status cat spot. Would you like that out the room? Yeah.
The fish's name is Livingston, by the way.
He's a good fish.
Yes.
In the ready room?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a lionfish.
That's a Mass
Yeah.
Effect renegade move.
It is a Australian lionfish, I believe.
Up there is Gol Masset.
Madrid.
No, Madrid.
Gold David Warner.
Gol Masset was
Ra's
Marco
al
Limo.
Ghul.
That's better. Gold David Warner.
Madrid.
Yeah, I'll just call him David. That's fine.
Oh, he was also the Klingon Chancellor.
He
Yeah.
is he who is
And he-
called Ra's al
in
Gorka.
Undiscovered Country.
Yeah, David Warner has been in so many things.
What was it? I saw him in Briscoe County Jr. He was a villain in that for an episode.
You know
He
what's
was in
deeply
Titanic.
disappointing?
Tron. He was in Tron. He was in Quest of the Delta Knights. He was in
Delta Knights.
Yeah.
Sounds like something
Yeah.
Gene Roddenberry would come up with.
Quest of the Delta Knights. That was an
SP937215.
episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And it was like circa 1990 or something like that that movie was made. He actually had
in-
2 different roles in that movie. He was also a supporting actor in the movie Titanic by James
Right.
Cameron.
Right.
He was in
He was
Time
in Time
Bandits.
After Time.
He played the villain in Time Bandits.
This is where I learned that all military officers have that ID serial number. That basically, when you're interrogated, the only thing you can give them is your name.
Name, rank,
And your
serial number.
Like
Serial
Star
number.
Trek 2009 taught us.
Yep.
So suppose, I went on vacation to some contested area and I got captured. Should I just start spouting off my social security number? Because I don't have
No.
another idea.
No, it's probably not.
What
your
about my
idea.
driver's license number? Would that help?
Driver's license number?
Next time on Star Trek,
Edit. Ryan. F49.
Renee Echevarria wrote this.
I
I
guess
think
I could
Ronald
start
Moore wrote
spouting
this
off my
too, didn't he?
YouTube channel number,
Yeah.
which is just a bunch of random letters.
Renee
You don't have enough
Echevarria was a
subscribers to change that yet.
Are we watching this whole recap? I don't want to fall
Yeah,
behind.
we have to watch the
You have to.
recap because
No
we
problem.
have to be in sync. So yes,
Yeah.
my serial number would be edit Ryan UCSDCLETPIT BPWRQMC2 UN3OQ.
Except that there's a difference between uppercase and lowercase.
There is a difference, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
and
Anyway.
just repeat that over and over, Ryan. Don't
1
say
minute
anything else.
countdown to part 2. 1 minute from now.
Totally forgot that David Warner was in the Men in Black TV series.
This is Ryan during interrogation.
Oh,
Siddiq al-Tahir al-Fadl al-Mahdi al-Karim al
Siddiq al-Tahil al-Fadil Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmad Abdul Karim al-Mahdi.
David Warner.
Or David. David's a lot easier to say than Siddiq al-Tahil al-Fadil Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmad Abdul Karim al-Mahdi.
So you really can't say.
He
I
was
can't say
also
it.
David Warner was also the voice of a cartoon villain called the Lobe in Freakazoid.
Oh, yeah, that was classic.
All right, everyone be queued up to the
Super
start.
Tutor Extraordinaire.
Do not skip the recap. If you're on Netflix, it might skip the recap for you, but make it work.
Just be
And
right.
everybody get ready to
Amazon
press
started
play
ahead of you
in
guys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
If it asks you, just ignore it. You can ignore it. It won't force you to do it.
Ricardo Montalban actually was a guest star villain on Freakazoid as well.
He was, and he does the con speech.
Mhm.
Ricardo Montalban in his chest.
He tasks me.
What's with everyone being so obsessed with Shakespeare in the future? Nobody cares that much about Shakespeare.
Well, that's because we haven't gone through a third world war yet. We need to learn to appreciate life and art after that.
Was Shakespeare the only surviving works after the World War III?
Same with along with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
And Mark Twain.
We're good.
And lots of other public domain authors.
Mark
Wow.
Twain.
Oh, that's why. It's because they were all public domain. That's the only reason they survived.
Because they were so widely distributed. They were in every library in the world. In the world. Why do we say in the world, not on the world? Because we're on the world. We're not inside it.
Well, we're inside the atmosphere of the world.
Did you see
I
Kong versus
guess.
Godzilla? There are things in the world.
We say
Yes,
in
there
the
is.
world because secretly the world is run by a cabal of reptilians who live at the center of the earth.
Oh, it's because we don't
A la
even have
Doctor
a
Who.
sky relay. We have a glass dome. That's right.
Yeah.
No, we're in the world.
The firmament or something
Firmament.
like that. Yeah, firmament. Yeah.
Yeah, the sky is actually just a glass dome with a bunch of jewels there that are the stars. That's how it works.
And
Trust me,
the
I studied
floodgates
astronomy.
for rain.
Or 4 rights.
Oh, swing around here. That's good camera work for a prisoner situation.
So advanced.
This is an amazing set.
That means
Yeah,
they had
lots
to
of
actually
rebar
build
on this
all the
set.
walls of the set.
Who did?
Wow.
Yeah.
The whole interrogation room is an interrogation room, not
Yeah,
just
it's
an
actually an
interrogation
interrogation
corner.
No, but
This is actually an interrogation room.
but the lighting and the seating, it's an amazing Prisoner of War episode. I don't think any other TV show gets close. Because
I
when he
think-
breaks the egg open in front of him, oh my god.
But are they going to
Yeah,
take one
that-
of his
an
molars?
angle.
And the acting was
close
just
angle.
superb.
Oh, here comes the poorly matted Starfield.
Yep.
Lost stars of Jupiter, no, Saturn's rings. Well, actually,
Saturn,
Jupiter
fake
has
molten
some rings
Saturn.
too.
I know.
Jupiter has some rings too.
It does.
I
And
thought
then
I was the
next
only
verse.
one who had noticed that. I mean, I remember watching in the
There they
80s, seeing
go.
that. Like, why are those
Goodbye.
stars weird?
Look at that.
That's Saturn right there.
The real reason is the stars are weird because they changed the intro sequence and they kept everything before that, and Saturn onward is new. So they had to make a new transition between the old effects
I thought
and
I was
new
the only one
effects.
who ever noticed that until I saw your video. I was like,
That's
somebody
right.
else notices that.
Yes.
And this right here with the ship moving through, that's the same as far as I know. They just changed the planets and the transitions.
What
In-
season
in
do
the
they
original
do, like,
intro,
the
we were flying
Superman little
through-
zoom in?
Our solar system. And then they changed it to some random alien solar system
Was this filmed on film or digital footage?
on film.
Film.
Just cut out that bit of the film and then drag it across the starfield on the back. It's simple to prompt that correctly.
Direction
Did-
was the
did we
first
do
time
the-
they went digital? Question mark.
It was half of DS9, wasn't it? I think it was like the later half of DS9 was digital, and then all of Voyager was digital.
Yeah, but I think Insurrection
of
was
the
the first time it
Enterprise?
was all digital.
That's a weird party date on.
I think that's
Yeah,
when they
digital
also
stuff.
stopped doing the managers as well. Was Insurrection.
So how old is Jellicoe's son? Because Jellicoe looks ancient, and he's got these pictures from a son who's drawing.
Well, hey,
His son
listen,
is actually in his 30s. We don't talk about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
be nice.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's about as well as
remember
I
episode
can
at
draw.
any age.
So that's fair.
And then you send him off to your pop. Look at this, Dad. There it is,
I
Ronald
made
D.
an
Moore.
elephant.
David Warner is Go Madrid.
Second favorite Cardassian.
Okay, let's see if I can set this up without
Right,
breaking
here's
the whole
Donald Trump.
stream.
Oh
Window
yeah.
capture.
Oh yeah. Here's Donald Trump again.
Nope, that's very much the wrong thing, and I would really prefer if it didn't put that on stream automatically without me confirming. I don't think I showed anything, though. That's fine.
There's that
Okay.
wide smile.
There we go.
You gotta switch. You gotta switch to studio mode, dude.
All right. So now I've got this just in the corner. It's very important. Let's see. Elephant. What?
Wow,
leg
they got
one,
security detail this time.
leg two, And then elephants are pretty fat, so you got a big belly on the elephant, and then probably like that. Actually, that should be like that because that leg is behind. And like
Sorry, Ryan. What
this.
are you doing? I stepped away to get an iced tea.
He's drawing an elephant like Captain Jellicoe's son.
Oh,
What do elephant heads look like? Because I kind of want to just like do this.
Trying to.
Wait, so
They
here
look
we go. Here's Jellicoe being a pretty fair, competent officer, even from like an outside perspective. And then they pretend like this never happened. What is up with this?
And then elephant ears look like. What do elephant
They
ears
look like
look
elephant
like?
ears. They look like elephant ears.
There we go. That's an elephant ear.
Ooh,
then it
that
has a-
bright light when they took off the blindfolds. I like that.
There we go. Elephant.
Oh, there's the rebar. We can't have the scene without the rebar.
Ancient and splendid ruins.
He said that they were when they were
Galaxy.
unearthed. No, wouldn't they be uncardassianed?
Well, the full name is Cardassia Prime. Actually, do they call it Cardassia Prime or do they just call it Cardassia?
Well, I wonder, is this like an Alexandra the Great thing where 5 cities named Alexandria?
I love this speech here about Jevonite and when he pulls out the knife itself because
Right, and that's because Kardashian Prime.
Is Jevonite just emerald? I think it's just emerald. Not that fancy.
emeralds are pretty fancy, right?
Hmm.
Emeralds are just under rubies and sapphires and diamonds.
Admirals. What am I talking about? Admirals do not, in fact, do anything special as rocks. Emeralds, however, if you slot them into a weapon, they add on poison damage.
Poison damage. Or dexterity if it's armor.
Could be. Sapphire, of course, adds on cold damage and a slow effect when you hit someone, which is very important. Topaz
cold
does lightning.
resistance.
Then what's the other one? Oh yeah, Ruby does fire, right. I know there's a whole fancy system around runes and like rune words, but I never figured that out. I just saw the number that says +3 to something and I put it on.
That's fair. Don't be a mid-maxer.
I think rune is how you say it, but I'm not sure.
R-U-N-E.
Yes, a
No,
rune.
but he said, yeah. You meant runes or ruins?
Runes and rune words.
He said ruins.
Right. So, what are the defense plans for Minos Corva?
I don't actually think there are any.
Don't tell me that. Zap, zap, zap.
Time to strip him of his identity.
Is his identity a black suede uniform?
By the way, I have carpal tunnel, or like a cousin of it. If you extend my hands for more than 5 minutes, I have a shooting pain. I have no tolerance whatsoever for any kind of contorted position with my hands.
I mean, I wasn't planning to string you up, but okay.
Well, I'm just saying, I'll confess to my own mother's killing if you torture me that way.
Never knew that.
You have any physical ailments I should know about? You have any allergies?
So he said the handle
What
of
about
that
his
was
artificial
Jevonite.
heart?
Was it the handle or the blade that's Jevonite?
I think the blade is Gemini, but now that you're saying
that-
it might have been the handle.
Because that handle's actually really ugly. If that's a Jevonite handle, I don't see what the big deal is.
Does he have his heart surgery scar?
I think he does. Yeah, there it is, right there.
Well, they use a dermal regenerator on it, right?
I mean,
Well,
apparently
looks-
not. No.
Apparently, it's more consistent to not do that.
I was gonna say I don't know if he had heart surgery.
He has an artificial heart. You
Yeah,
know,
that
so
looks
you would have to
slightly
have a-
uncomfortable.
Well, he might
Wait,
have
he
had,
doesn't have
like,
the scar
a
anymore. Where'd
from
it go?
the stab.
Oh, the scar disappeared. What the?
It
Yeah.
went away. Wow,
Yeah,
he's
it's
cured.
disappeared. Wow.
Nudity
That-
in my Star Trek.
Oh, look, it's that same shot of the Galaclass that they use. They only shot this one
Is
pan,
it-
and then they keep reusing it 4 times.
I don't think that was supposed to be the heart surgery scar. I think that was just supposed to be an injury from being tortured or captured or something.
Well, we
That's
do see Captain
stabbed
Picard's
by-
chest other times. And I don't remember
Yeah,
him
but-
having a big scar.
They also put the electrical implant device into him right there.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
You guys
Yeah,
didn't watch
I'm
this
looking at-
episode?
I'm looking
times
at
as a
previous
kid?
pictures of Picard. He doesn't have a scar.
Weird that they had one in that one shot.
Yes, he for about 10 seconds he had a scar.
Yeah.
This is the most exciting episode in all of TNG. Like,
I think-
there's others that I
Unless
love.
he was shot there. It was shot there for me.
Now, I tend to agree with Ronnie Cox where we kind of just have to assume he's dead.
Yes. Absolutely fair.
No, a good soldier never leaves a man behind.
That's fair. But they're not soldiers. They're
They are soldiers
Anyone
right
who
now.
falls
Not in-
behind is left behind.
That's not how it works.
Whoa, Riker, you were a little
It is
late
in
on
the
your
pilot
yes, sir. Couldn't hear you anymore.
Technically, the pirate code only says any man who falls behind is left behind, so presumably you can rescue a woman or a child. But Captain
That
Picard
is
is
part
nice
of the
with it,
pirate
so-
code to do so.
He's got a thermos of coffee there.
I was gonna say, can I buy that thermos somewhere, please? I'm gonna go look up Etsy. Maybe someone
I
made
don't,
a custom.
that looks
made
like a
one.
terrible thermos, though, because it has radiator fins, which is the opposite of what you want for a thermos.
Ryan, did you get your Janeway mug?
No, that's supposed to ship in November.
Okay.
In
I was kind of jealous, but I don't
Stars
like
back.
Anyway.
It is. Wow. It only goes away when he's hung up.
I have coffee tomorrow.
But
Yes.
this is really graphic subject matter. Prisoner of war, torture,
Yeah.
interrogation scene.
And,
Pretty
and
amazing.
for
What is that
anybody,
cup?
and for anybody watching who's sensitive to this, it only gets worse from this point on.
Yeah.
Yes.
FYI.
This is quite
Yeah, yeah.
This is some of the darkest stuff that's in this
Yeah.
whole show.
Is Patrick Stewart actually naked here? That
According
looks.
to something I
doesn't
read,
look-
yes.
That doesn't look
He
like
is.
a skin-colored thing. That looks like his actual hip and lower hip.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
It could be a cup they use,
No.
but even then, like, I feel like
Oh, is it
Yeah.
slowing the incision?
That was a great shot with the laptop.
I think
Yep,
the
implanted
reason
with
we
swords.
lost the incision.
Ryan, there's the scars again.
Yes.
I think the reason we lost the incision was when they put his arms
Almost
up over his head. That it
Yeah.
it wouldn't stay stuck. The
Probably.
latex or whatever.
probably.
Well, then
Too-
why didn't
too
they
much.
actually just cut him?
Well,
That
you
would've
know,
solved it.
Yeah. Could have said that's the beginning of the incision we're making. Now later, while you're knocked out, we're gonna put this in.
By the way, putting any kind of electric device next to the heart of a heart patient is probably going to kill them, just so you know.
My God, I didn't even realize that. Did they know he had a heart condition?
Yeah.
There are foreign rights.
I think like this scene must have been borrowing from 1984 because that's some.
Absolutely
I mean,
does.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Yes, you have to believe what the state tells
1984.
you, regardless of what your
Yeah.
own senses tell you.
1984, for many years, was the most terrifying novel I had ever read.
Oh, it's a dystopian.
What
novel.
beats it in the end?
Wow, that's a
What
really
beats
high
it?
resolution and is very clearly just a little green screen effect or a
Hmm.
composition effect. It was shaking a little bit.
They might have shook the thing.
Speaking of resolution of video, how come in Battlestar Galactica all their cameras are just awful? You can't see anything. They have completely terrible contrast. They're only like 100 pixels tall. The shots they get. How do they get any information out of those?
Yeah, I mean the contrast was better than last time.
From the sector. Not sector, sector.
Same like a Vulcan.
I'm still unclear on the exposition of this episode. What's the confrontation with the Cardassians in general?
They want Minas Corva.
They want the
What-
system.
Yeah, but what did they say
What's
they wanted
Minos
Jellicoe?
Corva and why is it impossible?
The whole
Minas
thing was that they
Corva-
wanted to lure. Go ahead.
Minas Corva is, for some reason, key to the defense of that sector, so they want it.
It's just a border sector.
They want to gain some territory, so they basically did a false flag operation to try and get the Federation to give it to them. But I mean,
Well-
but Captain Picard is just one man. I'd sacrifice him.
Like, great man. Ugh.
But we're not going to give away an
I know.
entire sector for one dude.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the entire
This is
sector is
this
what,
is
like
responsibility.
18 million people? Probably 18 billion, actually.
It's about time they released
we have hard
him.
hit.
Captain Picard's a
Yeah,
pretty
sorry,
cool
Mark.
guy, but he's not worth that.
No, he's nowhere near that.
They engineered a
just kill
scenario
us all.
specifically to lure Captain Picard because they thought he'd have information about
Ooh,
the
Deacon,
defense
in
of
Faces
Minas
in Red.
Corva.
Yeah, because the actual defense plans that they know the Enterprise
Hey,
is
they
going to
have
be
some
assigned
red
to the
shirt on.
defense of that particular
Red uniform.
sector, but Captain Picard isn't aware of those plans. He only gets told them if they actually start the
You
war.
would think that the Cardassian would know they wouldn't do that because I'm pretty sure the Cardassian wouldn't do the same thing too.
For just this scenario, where if someone gets captured, they don't know nothing.
But
Yeah.
they don't believe him.
Hard to mentalize that crap. Come on.
Data looks. Is everyone okay?
Then his first officer.
Data looks so good in red, by the way. If I may
Yeah,
say so.
yeah.
Yeah, it really brings out the yellow in his eyes.
Really agree
That's
that
the only time
Picard
we've
pretty
ever
much.
seen him in any other color.
He actually has
Um,
to write again in future imperfect.
Yeah. And
And
then
what he-
and then there were some comics that took place after
Countdown.
Nemesis.
Didn't he have a red uniform in Parallels?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
One of the Parallels
yeah,
ships.
yeah,
He also had a red
also
uniform
did too.
captaining the Sutherland in Redemption Part 1.
Did he?
Did he?
I don't think
Picard is
so.
pretty
I
much
think he
made
had-
No,
all
he
that
was
out.
still yellow in that.
No, he was still yellow.
I stand corrected.
Those are the only times that he wore red. But this episode,
What? That's a
Um,
ferret.
future imperfect and parallels.
Oh, womp rat. That's a ferret.
Yeah, bring your child to Guantanamo Bay. That's what we do.
Oh Jesus.
And it's a
How
cute
come-
girl.
What is happening?
How come that kid's dress is the same shape as the armor?
Because it's the
It's,
whole.
Signature.
Gyrax, are you
it-
crushing
you
your
know what?
recycle?
It's probably so that people recognize that she is the daughter of someone really important in the military. That's why.
Ah, I see.
Possibly.
His argument coming up is Gold Madred's argument coming up for the military is very similar to the one that the client gives in The Mandalorian about the Empire, how it like brings posterity
Are
and
people really
peace
better
and
off?
health.
Look around you.
Werner
Judged by
Herzog.
any metric, the Empire is good.
Every system of the empire.
They have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to their new empire. Your new empire.
And the funny part is that's
So,
one of the
I don't
greatest
think
directors of all
so.
time. Werner Herzog.
I need to learn how to do a good Werner Herzog impression because he has a great voice. I need
He
to.
really does.
You have to slow your speech down to a few
Now that they
words
killed
a
him off,
second.
I would like to see him in more episodes. Maybe he'll show up at a hologram.
I would like
yeah,
for
they
you
should have
to
killed
show
him.
me
Learn-
the baby.
Show
When
me the
children learn
baby.
to devalue others, they can devalue anyone, even their parents. That's also probably the reference to 1984.
But yeah, this
You're
argument
not
here
talking
about
about
how
Wonder
there are
Woman
bodies buried
1984.
under the street and
If they learn to devalue their parents, they can devalue anyone, even Werner Herzog.
I feel like you put more emphasis on the anyone, like anyone.
Anyone. Anyone? Is he German now?
He's
he's
Austrian.
from Austria.
Austrian and German are basically the same language.
Whoa, take that back.
No offense. It didn't take much to unite them in 1930.
Well, you know, if they can't get Werner Herzog back for the Mandalorian, they should get David Warner to show up.
Oh
I'd
my
watch.
God,
I'd watch that
so
episode.
that would be
amazing.
amazing.
I feel like they're probably not going to get Werner Herzog back for the Mandalorian because, you know, things
Because he's
happen.
dead. Yeah.
Well, I was
did-
saying that they could have him be in a hologram recording of some sort if they wanted
could
to
do.
for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. But
Oh!
David Warner's a good close second.
After this, I need
That'd
to
be
scroll
great.
back and look at David's kid because I need to see if her spoon is blue.
I
think
mean, the
she's-
whole room is
Kardashians
blue.
have blue spoons.
Oh.
Yeah, all the women Cardassians have blue spoons. The men don't. The women do. But I'm trying to
I've
figure
never
out
put that together.
if it's
I've
biological
noticed
or
that,
makeup.
remember?
She does not
Well,
have a
maybe
blue spoon.
maybe it's like
She
it's like
doesn't.
lipstick, right? Maybe like
She
how
doesn't.
females put lipstick on their mouth. Maybe Kardashian women put blue makeup
Yeah,
on their.
that's what I'm
spoon.
wondering. And
That's-
it looks like
Zach.
that might be it.
Has
that has
anyone
been my contention.
has anyone ever used an electric collar on a dog?
No.
It's and then there's also a thing called an electric fence. If they leave a certain area, the collar starts shocking. But it's pretty.
I've heard of buzz collars. They don't actually electrocute the dog, but they'll
They'll
vibrate
vibrate.
kind of like your cell phone,
Yeah.
which is more humane, I think, than just
Yeah,
sending
Than the
electrical
shock.
current through your dog.
Yeah. yeah.
Seriously, look at his eyes. Data's eyes look really. The red brings out the yellow.
Must be ahead.
What do you mean, Data's? I don't even see Data. Where's Data? There's Tracy. I see
Hey,
Tracy.
Tracy.
Bye, Tracy.
There he is.
There's Data.
You're right though.
You gotta love
There's
her
our
hair.
main man.
Jellicle let her keep the hair.
Does that mean that he relieved Will of duty?
Even Jellicle likes Tracy.
Has Will been relieved? I think he has been relieved of duty.
At this point, yeah.
Right,
he's relieved.
Data's taken first
Duty in the
officer,
last
I think.
argument.
He's
Okay.
lucky he's not confined to quarters.
Yeah, he kind
Well,
of is.
Riker's confining himself to quarters because he's just going to go and sulk for the rest of the episode.
My best friend.
He got called out for being a douche. Now he's mad.
Yeah, that family's not gonna last a long time soon, is it?
Nope, they're going to
No.
die in a fire.
A fire.
His
Just
his
another
uncle
year
his
from
uncle
now.
gets immolated.
Yep, his uncle Renee.
I think it's just another year from now from this point.
Oh, Captain Picard.
Well, this is season 6, and that happened after season 7. So would you say like a year and a half, maybe 2?
Was that a
Two,
nemesis?
yeah. That was in
That was
Generations.
Generations.
That was
Oh,
the
okay.
first Star Trek Next Generation.
Okay,
movie.
okay.
That was the opening scene.
That's why he walks off the holodeck for the Enterprise.
Oh,
boat.
those
They
are
were
some not
giving-
very steady rebar. Why are they moving
They're
around so
giving
much?
Worf his promotion.
Yeah. Before he goes off to DS9.
I love his explanation of when Worf comes back in Nemesis. Oh no, it's
They
which
don't
one
give an
is it, where they just
explanation.
cut away.
He just shows
Yeah,
up.
they
First
just cut
contact.
away. They're like, Worf, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I was, and then they cut away.
Oh yeah.
Somehow
I think
the
it's Insurrection. I
at
think it's
Earth.
Insurrection where they cut
That's
away.
Insurrection. Yes, you're correct.
even though in it takes 5 weeks, right, to go from Earth to Deep Space Nine.
Sometimes.
Somehow the Defiant is just there.
to be fair, you probably
Well,
heard
you see,
about this happening.
a wormhole. The wormhole suddenly shifted to the Alpha Quadrant for about 30 minutes so they could get over. And then that was it.
Yeah, and then it showed up for like 5 seconds in the Delta Quadrant, just to tease Voyager.
The wormhole just suddenly opens up in front of them. And when they get close, it's like, oh, you almost had it that time. If you go a little
Wormholes had
faster.
personality.
They did a wild goose chase to the wormhole for the next 10 years.
What if we try to lasso the wormhole so it can't run away?
Hmm.
Now, if you're ever being tortured and your captor says to you, oh, that's fine, we'll just torture your friends. Don't believe them unless they show you that they have your friends.
Yeah.
I don't even believe that.
I'll remember that. That's
It's very
a good-
important.
That's a good call takeaway.
Ryan, I don't have any friends.
Well, then you shouldn't have any issues.
Oh man, you got your torture there.
No, don't torture Soma.
What you picked me out of everyone else.
Yes.
That little blue girl behind Junko is pretty cool. What
That's
is
because
that?
he's got the coolest name.
Same.
That granite thing between Worf and Data.
They just have,
There was
that's one of the pillars holding the table up. They're always there.
Okay. Thank you.
Have you seen
know
Gates McFadden nowadays? Like she's straight gray. She doesn't do red hair anymore. She's just straight
Well, I mean,
silver.
she's old.
She's probably been great for a long time.
Yeah, I commend her for just like being like, yeah, one of her most recognizable traits was her red hair, and she's like, yeah, I'm done with that now. I'm going silver, going gray.
So I'm surprised how.
And
much she
now to
looks
mention
the same.
that, I was wondering
Who's
about
the
that because when I saw her at the convention, she didn't have red hair.
It's like a jawbreaker.
Excuse me, that's
It's
a
like an
test bar
ostrich
egg.
egg.
It's an everlasting gobstopper.
But
think
this
my,
is this is the part of any good interrogation scene where like they're nice to you for a second, and then it's back to the rack for torture.
It makes you think that they have some humanity.
Humanity. He's a Cardassian. Don't use
They
that
have
kind of
some
racist term.
Cardassian
here.
You got me there.
I
That's
wanted.
humanity.
I'm hungry for Cardassian eggs. Who's with me?
Nobody.
I don't know. That looks good to me.
I'd eat it.
Not
I
to
eat
me.
it.
I mean,
I mean,
I
like,
got
I
some. I've got some
hadn't eaten in a
Danishes. I
week.
prefer a Danish. Can I have a Danish instead?
I had some the other day, according to Bill.
What?
Right?
What?
That you compared that thing I was eating to the
A
Oh,
live
yeah.
Star
Tespa
egg.
egg.
Yeah.
Streets of Lacat.
Once I found a nest of Tespa eggs, I ate them immediately.
Okay, Warner.
David Warner plays villains extraordinarily well. There are very, very few actors who can do it like he can.
Every time he's on screen in anything, I'm
No,
like
he steals the show.
encapsulated by him. Like that
He's
voice,
trying to make-
just the way he talks. It's excellent stuff.
Have you guys ever seen the show? I think it's called Time After Time, where David Warner plays Jack the Ripper, and he gets time travel to San Francisco, and H.G. Wells
I'm familiar with the song Time After Time.
Yeah, it's I don't think they're related, but yeah, you should check out that movie if you like David Warner. Oh, and it also has Soren in it as well. He plays H.G.
Malcolm
Wells.
McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell plays H.G. Wells, and Mary Steenburgen plays the love interest,
Man,
Doc Brown's wife.
Oh, I would imagine my surprise when I heard that Malcolm McDowell was in like Castlevania's newest season. That surprised me for some reason.
This is where Picard flips the script.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep. Being naughty again.
See,
Being
like,
evil again.
Oh man.
The interrogator is supposed to get inside the subject's head, but the subject is living inside his head.
Well, I think that he's basically like damaged, and he's actually crying for help here. The reason why he tortures people is because he's broken.
Them to, and he wants them to go through what he went through.
I remember how I remember you doing the 5 lights thing. It was your Christmas thing.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Amazing acting because you're watching the scene unfold.
Yeah.
From one thing I read, he did a lot of research into actual people who go through that.
Patrick Stewart did, you mean?
Yeah, that's why he was able to. That's one reason he was able to do that so well.
Those
I
minds
mean,
are
the thing
really
is, like,
small.
he gave him a personal story and related to him, and it's like that doesn't work. It just allows me to know more about you than you to know about me. So that's where he can do it.
Wait, but hang on. They're planning to use mines and put them on the belly of Cardassian ships. But people told me when Discovery came out that the Federation wouldn't use mines like that.
Oh, don't listen to Discovery.
Well, isn't that part of an alternate universe?
No.
No.
Isn't that the Kelvin universe?
No.
No.
Discovery universe.
Most definitely in the Prime timeline.
If someone tells you that Discovery's in an alternate universe, they're a paranoid conspiracy theorist. Looking at you, Robo.
Oh damn! Then I guess I'm one.
One video I really want to make is just, I haven't decided. There are 2 options. One, literally everything you don't like in Star Trek is either a holodeck simulation or an alternate universe, basically. It's like, oh, you don't like the episode Move Along Home? Oh, that's fine. That was actually an alternate universe. That didn't happen.
Third chap.
It's called fan canon. That's
you're enabling fan head canon.
Yeah. The thing. Wait, people seriously didn't think they should have used mines and Discovery when we see them use it in Deep Space Nine as well.
So that nebula they're in right now, that was the same nebula we always use with the Borg and the Mutar, except they inverted it vertically that time.
Wasn't that nebula the same one they used in Wrath of Khan?
Yeah, 100%.
That's a Mutara nebula.
Yeah.
Soma, the reason why they say that in Discovery, even though we use mines in TNG and Deep Space Nine, is because the people who are writing Discovery never watched TNG or Deep Space Nine or read anything about it.
That's the exact opposite of what I was saying. It's not that Discovery says they don't use mines. It's people complaining that Discovery does use mines who say that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I thought
that's the point which proves that people just want to criticize Discovery for no reason.
No, because
they very clearly use mines twice in TNG and Deep Space Nine.
There's loads of good reasons to
I'm not saying there aren't.
Discovery, and that's not one of them.
I'm not saying there aren't good reasons to criticize them, but there are just some stupid ones where it's like they do this in the show you're talking about. Why are you complaining?
Robo, now that the ranks are dropped, I don't like you either.
Oh.
Yeah, but how do bombs fall in space? We need to ask Ryan Johnson in the Star Wars universe that too. Right?
That makes complete sense.
They were criticizing ridiculous things.
That made complete sense.
Falling in space.
That did make complete sense.
When the mines fall in space, 1, they're being ejected, and 2, the ship has artificial gravity anyway.
Yeah.
They're not just going to stop moving once they are out of the ship. They're going to keep going because they
Just
have
another
momentum.
reason for people to be upset about just something stupid. It's like,
Yes.
Yeah.
all right, yeah.
And
People-
even in the manual for that ship, it says they're magnetically propelled downwards as well.
Yeah. I just remember that was
Hmm.
like people would talk about The Last Jedi, and then I would say, "Oh, what didn't you like about it?" And they'd be like, "Mine's falling in space." And I was like, "Really? That's not the magic wizards with the laser swords, but it was
No.
the mines falling in space."
True,
Okay.
because that entire scene is encapsulating the concept where a lot of the earlier Star Wars stuff was based upon
War
World
movies.
If you want to be
Yeah.
really serious
and it's
about
like
that,
that's a B-52 bomber just remade into space
Yeah.
stuff.
that is
and
true.
then
If
people,
you
why?
want to be really serious about that, you see in the original trilogy, the bombers dropping torpedoes.
Yeah, TIE bombers drop bombs all the time.
Yep.
But
So-
they're in space.
I mean,
Things
they're-
can't move in
they're-
space.
They're literally called dogfights.
Yeah.
And there's not a single
And
dog
there's not
involved.
a dog in them.
That's why I don't like. That's why I didn't like The Last Jedi, was because they called them dogfights, and there's no
this
dogs
is-
in Star Wars.
As bad as Jellicoe
What
is,
this
he's a
crap.
tactical genius.
We got that crystal wolf or crystal fox thing in that one. It was Last Jedi, right? We had those crystal
Yeah,
wolves or foxes.
I remember the
I
little
actually like
penguins.
Jellicoe. I think he's
My
a
finger's on the button, and you're in a very bad position.
Yeah, Jellicoe's kind of a dick, but he's right.
yeah. He doesn't. He does
It's once
everything
again,
right,
it's once
and it
it's
all
once
works out.
things- Yeah.
And that was just a baby.
He's like Donald Trump.
Nope, he's not like, nope, Donald Trump isn't right at all. No. Not at all like Donald
That was
Trump.
He's
Donald
making
Trump
a
wasn't right about
Kardashian straight
anything
for
he
the
said.
wall.
I would have voted for Jellicoe if he would have ran for president. I'd vote for Jellicoe.
Jellicoe is the guy that a lot of people absolutely hate, but he does everything right. Donald Trump is the guy that a lot of people absolutely love, but he does everything wrong.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand with Donald
Powers
Trump
combined,
because the way
baby.
he wanted everything done, but here, like you said, Ryan, it's all wrong.
Politics in my Star Trek stream.
That
Impossible.
reminds me of how in the West Wing
That's
against
it. That's
President
right.
Bartlett, they had Alan Alda run as a Republican candidate, and he loses, but it was a nice. He's a nice actor.
Yeah.
Cardassian laptops look a lot like Federation ones. They just have a couple of little serif ends on the screen.
On the
Repainted.
corner, if you want to break that, not that it matters. You should know there's another one.
Yeah, but it's satisfactory.
That's fair.
Cardassian computers tend to... Actually, this isn't... This one's weird. In DS9, the Cardassian computers we see don't have screens. They have, like, they have bezels for oval screens, but they don't have an actual screen.
Mhm.
They're projected.
Yeah.
They're more advanced than Federation.
I don't know
But
how
I
they
will
work,
still
but
argue
apparently they
the
work very
reason
well.
why. I will still argue the reason why holographic projections are usually not good is because of the power input to maintain them versus a damn screen.
But our screens are holographic, because if you go to the side, you can see the side of the person. It doesn't say straight on.
I know that's something they added for. I think the Enterprise E has their main viewer is a holographic viewer and not just a image.
No, the Enterprise D is holographic as well.
Is Enterprise E holographic too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we see
It's only showing a couple times.
when we see Tomalak, if the camera's looking straight onto the screen, we see Tomalak straight on. But when the camera
Oh,
moves
when they
to
do
the
like a
side to get that
3/4?
dramatic shot of Picard in profile, we see Tomalak's profile
Yeah.
as well. Screen's holographic. For some reason. I'm not sure if that's
Or at least
helpful. I don't think-
or at least has depth to it.
I don't know if that's helpful to have the view screen be 3D like that, but, you know, it's fancy. And it probably looks a lot better on camera.
There's that laptop again.
Yeah, I agree.
Frodo Baggins, you need to go to Mordor.
Thing is, he's entirely bluffing now.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, strictly
He's
speaking,
entirely bluffing now. And
strictly
still
speaking,
he's
David here didn't say he
incredibly-
needs to say he sees 5 lights. He just needed to say how many lights he does see. technically.
He asked them.
The answer doesn't matter. He could say he sees 2 lights and he fulfilled the criteria.
2, 3,
It's
4.
nice that he gets to be stripped down in front of Picard, though, too, where he, the whole time he's been lording over Picard, and then this other guy just comes in and just sends him to.
Yeah, this shows that he's just another cog. in
He's
the
a
machine as
subordinate,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not as
Well-
all powerful as he made himself out to be.
Where are they being held right now? That Golem mech came all the way back.
Close by, I
point.
guess.
I thought
It
they
was
were on the
just
same.
on a
I thought they were on the
cloaked
same
ship
planet.
adjacent.
We don't know exactly how long it was between the scene where they leave the nebula and now. It could
What I
have been
mean,
a couple of days.
is the Enterprise going to be content if they just say, yeah, fine, just wait here like 2 weeks, we'll go get him?
Yeah,
Well, judging by his beard, it's say a few days to a week.
4
Yeah,
I
days.
just assumed it was the same planet that they were
Yeah, a
trying
few
to
days
sneak
to-
into.
A few days to a
I
week.
suppose.
So he was entirely bluffing that entire
Yeah, the
time
last
there.
second. Yeah.
and
Well,
but he was still
even from the
extraordinarily good at doing
Ooh,
it.
Excelsior.
Yeah, different shot though.
And so
Good observation, Kevin.
Oh, and Data's back in yellow already.
Did he get demoted?
no,
Why does he
didn't
not
write
get to be in
note.
red anymore?
Yeah, what was that?
I think it's
Because
just a change of
it's
discipline.
Oh, hey,
red in
right?
Tracy,
command
back left.
uniform.
Riker gives him the death look when he says maybe a little better.
Get the
How
hell
come
off
we
my
don't
ship.
have the ceremony for this one?
Because it's
He should
less
say it's
ceremony.
been an honor serving with you, and then looks over to Riker, not you.
Good job.
It's been an honor
Well,
to serve with you, Tracy.
Except
cleaned up.
Riker.
Picard reverted the ready room pretty quick. The Stargazer was
You
back.
know the real reason why
Right.
Jellicoe didn't like
The
Riker? He
Stargazer,
ran down the
there's-
corridor after Tracy too much.
That's
Whenever
Picard's
there's-
Shakespeare book that Jellicoe handed to him before he left. How did it get there? Where did this
Yeah,
come
he
from?
cleaned up.
Why are the
Whenever
mugs
there's-
the Target brand?
Wait, that means he went to his personal quarters to grab that and put it there. What's
Yeah.
privacy to Jellicoe?
Maybe Jellicoe got it ready for him before he came back.
I mean,
That'd
that's
been
why
nice.
that's what I'm saying is he went through Picard's personal quarters, took that book,
He's the
put it-
captain.
and
It was
put
a
it
He's the
welcome
in.
home
captain at the
present.
time, so he could do that.
What a jerk!
It's been an honor to serve on this ship.
No,
I know Mary
but
hasn't
I,
read the same.
but I was going to.
So, what do you think was worse for Picard, being captured by the Borg or being tortured? What do you think was like more?
Well,
I
we
mean,
see
fine
in
and cheap,
Picard
I'd
at
rather
least
be
the scene
regular
with-
tortured.
Yeah. Well, we also see in Picard that at the very least the board thing had a longer term effect on him.
Yeah,
And they bloody took his arm off.
Yeah, and they also made him kill thousands of his own Starfleet officers at Wolf 359.
And they put a
So-
drill through his eye.
that was
Yeah.
like.
And they also in
deconstruction of
First Contact had all of that stuff going
Well,
on.
at least they didn't rip his eye out with a claw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was a complete deconstruction of himself versus this, where it was just more of a
Oh, it's Data as
hammering.
Oh, Brandon Braga was the story editor.
Data as Sherlock. Let's
Not
see.
yet, though. Not yet.
Moriarty.
Hold.
in the
Wait.
bottle.
Ship in a Bottle is the next episode.
It's
Because
literally the
two-parters
first shot
count
of
as
the
one.
episode, which is why I
Well,
realized.
I'm out. You guys enjoy the rest.
What, you don't like Ship
Have
in
a
a Bottle?
good
You don't like
day.
Moriarty?
I'm gonna-
Howard.
He doesn't
Alright.
like Moriarty.
1 minute to Ship in a Bottle. Everyone be queued up to Season 6, Episode 12. Let me look
about
up
message?
preemptively what's tomorrow for DS9.
How about message in the bottle?
No, Ship in a Bottle. Message in a Bottle is a Voyager episode.
And
What's
Genie in
Genie
a
in a
Bottle
Bottle?
is a Christina Aguilera song.
Wow.
I know it just sounds similar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So tomorrow's Deep Space Nine is the Magnificent Ferengi, which is the Weekend at Bernie's with Iggy Pop. We get Waltz, where Ducat goes full crazy, and Who Mourns for Morn, which is, about Morn and Worthless Gold.
Awesome.
Are you already? Are you in season 6 or 7 for DS9?
Six.
Yeah. Okay.
In fact, we're on the same episode number, I believe.
Wow.
And everybody press play in. Stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. However, we're going to finish DS9 first because we have TNG movies to get through as well.
And TNG has more two-parters. But this looks like the same set where in All Good Things, Data is the Sir Isaac professor at Harvard. And he has all the cats.
Cambridge, but yeah.
Looks like a bloody skunk. What is the accent, Data? So gruesome a death.
Theater.
You guys excited for LeVar Burton on Jeopardy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's happening?
Does Jeopardy still exist?
He's
been
going
like 40
to
years.
do a guest host. He's going to do the guest host for the last couple weeks of the season. And then they're going to pick a permanent host.
Starting.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was so short a term.
Is it starting tonight?
No,
it's actually quite a relevant episode to our D&D sessions.
What? What about D&D
He's going to be a
It's-
guest.
And dude, my semi campaign is Sherlock themed.
Yes.
So LeVar's going to
Takes
be
a
a guest
trained
host for a
eye.
couple weeks, and then they're going to pick a permanent host later for Jeopardy. But fingers crossed, it's LeVar.
So this news article I found says Burton will appear as host of Jeopardy from July 26th to 30th.
Oh, okay.
Only 1 week? Aw.
I grew up on reading Rainbow, so LeVar Burton was
Yeah.
my hero.
I mean, that's the job of a Jeopardy host, is you just
Me
read.
too,
So
not deny.
Yeah. The host also has the final say. Like Trebek would be the final arbiter if somebody got the question right or wrong.
I mean, I think he was kind of hands-on with, like, he also went over what the questions were and everything. I don't know if they were actually...
He was.
They're actually doing that with the other hosts.
No, right. The other host wouldn't be able to do that. But so they'd give it to the producer.
Oh, hey, Barkley.
Barkley's
Rich?
interrupting
Just a
the
voiceover.
fantasy.
For now. He's going to be here in like a minute. Maybe after the
Barkley.
credits.
Okay.
Actually, no.
Barkley.
It can't be after the credits because we need to get the dramatic thing of Moriarty showing up.
They look so good, though.
There he is.
I don't know. I love them on the holodeck, especially LeVar Burton.
Yeah, we're gonna get. He's gonna unlock the program. He's gonna show Moriarty. He's gonna show up. He's gonna look dramatically to the side. Fade to black.
So we've already had the original Moriarty episode.
You gotta love Moriarty.
yeah, what else has he been in?
It's a fast diagnostic.
Barkley.
Why do they do diagnostics? Why do
No,
they
no, no,
have-
not Barkley, but the guy who plays Moriarty. I'm gonna
Oh.
look him up.
I don't even know his name.
Ooh.
Moriarty,
Moriarty
Star
Crime
Trek
and
actor.
Justice
Who is it?
Program.
Daniel Davis.
Daniel Davis. Oh, I know he's in the Hunt for Red October. He's on one of the Navy destroyers.
Oh wow.
Talk about this Moriarty version.
react too well to bullets.
No, he is not. He doesn't play Sean Connery in that movie. That's Sean Connery
No.
playing Sean Connery.
That's Sean Connery. He was in The Nanny. Wow, and The Prestige.
Oh,
That was
that's a good movie.
Hugh Jackman.
The cat. He seems a little confused, Barkley.
By the way, for philosophy, solipsism is when you argue that we have no way of knowing what our reality is. And this Moriarty thing, if you just put a hologram program into a box, that's kind of pretty much what
I
solipsism
don't know
argues.
whether this is the Netflix version on my computer screen or whatever, but there's a bloom around Moriarty, which might be to suggest that he's not, that he's a hologram.
I don't see any bloom at all. That looks normal on my screen.
It could be the display or something then. Don't know.
Was it when he just first materialized? It just could have been a matte line from the special
It's
effects.
fine on my screen.
Maybe.
Yeah, the initial materialization would probably have an effect around it. But right now, because they do have a physical holodeck set, this is a real room.
It's probably just because
Here's a
it's
question.
dark and
Why
light.
don't they just make a holographic projector on a cart and have him push it around?
A mobile
Yeah.
emitter?
mean a
That sounds
mobile
like
emitter?
28th
That's what
century
the Doctor has
technology.
in Voyager.
A mobile emitter, if you
And that was,
if you like.
that was like 25th century technology, wasn't it? I don't know.
It was even further.
The Doctor
than that.
in Voyager has
29.
it.
By the time you get
Yeah,
to
but because
Yeah, but he got it
they
from
get
the
it from
future.
the future. Yeah.
Right.
by the time you get to Picard, the whole ship has holodeck capabilities.
29th century
Holometers all over.
technology, it says.
29.
So, but the thing is, right? They could do it with 24th century technology. It'd just be big.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, the card is a good idea.
I mean, even in Voyager, which takes place in like 3 years, the episode I'm thinking of, they can completely outfit the ship with holo emitters.
They don't
Okay.
at first, but they do.
The thing is, though,
Yeah.
the power of the
Han-
holo emitters. I played a lot of Starship Creator, which is like a PC game, and so the power of the holodeck is like equal to the computer core. So
What
say
you
that,
call
but they
it?
also
the,
say on Voyager that the
Prometheus,
powers-
Prometheus had holo emitters everywhere.
Yeah,
Remember?
the Prometheus has holo emitters everywhere. Then even on Voyager, the ship,
True.
they can install holo emitters all throughout the ship in the episode with the Nazis.
Yeah, but it was like not working right.
No.
He hasn't
But-
put the panel on properly.
To be fair,
Perfectly
they
all the
were
way.
also forcing them to like cut through bulkheads to install it.
and this is like Toy Story though, when the toys are alive.
Well, wait, because remember the original like EMH Mark Ones? They were all sent to like be slave
Yeah, they were
labor
sent to a
on,
mine.
like,
How did that
a-
work?
Yeah.
How
They
did
were
that work?
watching
Yeah.
the Doctor's novel with those. His mobile emitter in the holo novel was like a huge backpack that
Yeah.
weighed a ton. Remember that?
It's symbolic.
Yeah. But I mean, how did they just set up a bunch of holo emitters on an
Yeah,
asteroid?
they must have just
But-
stuck a
but
bunch
they're
of holo
mining.
emitters in the cave.
If they're mining, they're digging like tunnels, right? So how are they moving the holo emitters as they go?
0 out of 10. Totally.
Then why would
unwatchable.
you need to? Why would you need to move the programs? Surely, if they're just programs, they can be just erased or stored in memory and not used, or what?
Why do you
Yeah, why
need
keep
to
'em around?
mine with holograms when you can just use the transporters to transport the minerals into the ship?
You got to
That's a
blast
good
it with the phaser. But yeah, you're right.
Well,
And
we
if-
see in this
like
in 2 episodes ago, them trying a new method of mining.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the particle fountain.
Yeah,
But
it just
even if-
seems like you could use a transporter and be
Even
like,
if
all right,
hypothetically
whatever's
you do
not.
need to like physically mine it with a hologram wielding a pickaxe, why did they need to be sentient holograms?
Good question. and how are they sending the Mark Ones to be miners? Like, aren't they integrated into the ship? Wouldn't you just be like erasing them from the computer on the ship and putting the
Isn't
Mark
it a piece of
IIs or Mark
software you can
IIIs?
just copy paste?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why did they not have 7 copies of The Doctor on Voyager?
They always have to say something about a matrix or another, as if there's some portion of it that can't be just copied.
It just
Yeah,
seems
they
really.
explain that
Hologram technology
probably have
works
to
very
make-
well. Thanks for asking.
So
It
They
looks-
probably have to. They probably have to make a duplicate of the make 2 duplicates of the ship, enlarge the ship, and then put the second ship on top of it. And then there's a ship in the bottom.
yeah, and they said right now though the Enterprise is in the sector to watch 2 planets collide. So 2 planets on top
So
of each
they
other.
have fully stopped using holograms apparently at this point.
Other than the view screens.
Do you notice how the non-main cast uniforms are just the first and second season uniforms with collars added and the pinstripe removed?
Yeah, they only had so many uniforms, so they had to retrofit
Yeah.
some.
Costs money.
Yeah.
Well, I had heard
So
for
whenever they get the
generations
seam-
that they borrowed DS9 uniforms. For
They
Oh,
did,
Patrick
correct.
Stewart's in a jacket.
Yep. Yeah, Riker was in Jonathan Frakes was
Avery Brooks.
wearing
I've seen
Avery
the
Brooks
uniforms, but
uniform
I wasn't
and
Very unhappy about it.
Geordi was in Column's uniform.
At least Patrick Stewart is wearing clothing. But
Yeah.
Renee Varia wrote this also, who is the DS9 showrunner at one point.
So what?
I think you
what
did
is
forget
this?
him.
It certainly
They-
seems like
yeah.
they forgot him.
It's like you discover
Well-
you're going through
We
your
all did.
files one day on your computer and like, oh, I forgot all about this. I didn't mean
It's
to
been
leave
4
this on the
years.
desktop.
I mean, it's what Worf did to Alexander.
Maybe they can't make 7
Oh,
doctors
man.
because they just don't have enough hard drive space.
Right.
Maybe the computer, in an act of self-preservation, prevents it from happening because who could tolerate multiple iterations of the EMH Mark
We
One?
love the EMH Mark 1.
He's an acquired taste.
You got something against Robert Picardo?
After 7 years, I acquired that taste.
The Doctor's like the best
Robert
character
Picardo
there.
expertly
Yeah.
played the role of being incredibly irritating.
He's abrasive for sure. But if of all the Starfleet doctors, I would pick him to be my personal medical physician.
Not
think
the
so?
genetically enhanced superhuman, Dr. Bashir.
No, I'd still go with the doctor.
I'd pick Bashir. Because, this guy, he's kind of very self-centered, But I will say the Robert Picardo, he was great in First Contact, being the comic relief.
That was the best cameo. That was the best cameo.
Because Dr. Crusher was like, do a dance, sing a song, whatever you want to do. We're going inside the Jeffries tube.
Well, that was the Voyager sickbay set that they just repainted.
Right. And then the guy's like, do you want some analgesic? Because Borg skin is pretty bad.
According to Starfleet
The
research,
Starfleet medical
Borg-
records.
Borg
Implants can cause severe skin
irritation. Perhaps you would care for an analgesic cream?
And the Borg radar is scanning him, and he's flickering
And disrupting his matrix.
No. Where was the sickbay set?
The Voyager sickbay set was used in First Contact as the Enterprise E sickbay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I think therefore I am. There we go. We solved it. If you want to get off the
That's a quote
holodeck, you just
from-
walk off. Done. Easy.
That's a quote from Rene Descartes.
Cogito ergo sum.
The only thing that
Yeah.
you can even know for certain is that you exist. The only thing I know technically is that I exist. That's the only thing I can be certain of.
But so
Data
Are you
calling
certain of
the
that?
police on him.
Yes.
Okay, hold on a second. This morning I had a dream in which I was dreaming.
Yeah.
So it was a dream within a dream. Could it be that are we the dream or are we the dreamers,
Yeah, this is called
Are you
solipsism.
sure are you sure you're real? I mean,
Yes.
How do
Because
I
if
know?
you
This is
didn't
what you
exist,
do.
you couldn't have thoughts to think about whether you exist.
This is what you do:
But-
grab a top, spin it on a table, and then if it spins forever, you're in a dream.
I don't have a
there you
top.
go.
I could get a coin. Is that good enough?
That might work too.
It's got to be Leonardo DiCaprio top.
yes.
So
But
I
then
searched for those tops on eBay once, and then all of a sudden, every ad that I got on my web browser was all for those stupid tops. So I
Excellent.
don't recommend looking them up.
and I try to go back to sleep to get back into that dream so I could go back to sleep in the dream and go into the dream within the dream.
Okay.
Above that.
So were you disoriented when you
What's the
woke up?
permitted-
For real?
I was very disoriented when I woke up. Because I
Would
woke
you-
up twice
Would you do me a favor
from my
and
perspective.
slap yourself for me as hard as possible?
Oh, sure.
Okay, don't do that.
I didn't
Oh
hear no
man, I
slap.
knocked a tooth out.
'Cause then we could know whether you're dreaming or not.
You wouldn't hear the slap because my beard muffles the sound of
Okay.
the slap.
You can slap your forehead, I guess.
Sherlock Holmes was created in what year?
1898.
Forever ago. If you read the stories, it really
Yeah.
shows.
It's the same time as the Lost World.
Yeah.
Same guy, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
If you ever
Okay.
actually read Sherlock Holmes, keep in mind that it was written a really long time ago. Don't worry about the fact that Holmes uses phrases like dark-skinned savages. Just ignore that bit.
Yeah.
To be honest, this version of
Yeah.
Professor Moriarty is much closer to sort of who Moriarty starts off as, rather than being the villain. He's an actual professor.
Yeah, Moriarty's a
And,
And
he's
it's sad
100%
that,
right.
that
Go ahead.
this actor hasn't done more because he steals this episode.
He's amazing.
And it's a
My
shame that
past
he's
is
only been
nothing
in,
but
Red
fiction.
October and then The Nanny.
Well,
He
why would
does
he
the
ever
thing
want to
of,
continue
like,
acting? This is his magnum opus. That's all he needs. He's done.
I know you can't, and he was born to play this role, basically, right?
Even in The Hunt for Red October, he sounds like Moriarty. This isn't a voice he's putting on to sound formal. That's just him.
Oh, you got the right actor.
Which is completely out of place because he's supposed to be part of the American Navy. But whatever.
Oh, I thought you meant this episode.
No. In this
No, The
episode, he
Hunt.
is not, in fact, part of the American Navy.
But Ryan, you said earlier, why is so much Shakespeare in Star Trek? I think it's just a theater thing, and therefore Patrick Stewart being Royal Shakespeare Society, Idris Elba being Royal Shakespeare Society, and something I just saw. I got
Well, Shatner was really into Shakespeare too.
definitely, yeah, he was a Canadian Shakespeare guy,
Okay.
but I just learned though. I was watching BBC's Royal Shakespeare Society with Ian McClellan as Macbeth, and Ian McDermott, the Emperor Palpatine, is in there. I'm gonna upload the clip in a minute, but it's amazing
Lots
to
of
see how
Ians.
many. Yeah,
When Moriarty takes control of the ship, so that's really just the ship taking control of itself.
I don't
That happens in
understand
another
this here.
episode. Verderon City.
Yeah, it happens
Verderon
in a
City,
lot.
and then New Verderon City.
I don't understand
What?
what Captain Picard's really talking about here.
Oh,
He's like, why can't he authorize this?
Because then
Just
that's
talk to the computer again.
can you just
and-
create infinite life forms then off the holodeck?
Yeah, it's irresponsible to start creating new life forms just on a sheer act of will.
Really? Like parents?
Like
Then
yes,
you
like
start-
parents do all the time.
Then you start designing people to come off the holodeck.
Oh man,
Then it
perfect.
gets fun.
Yeah,
That would really
I got
help in the
ideas
Dominion War, though.
already.
You can just replicate officers.
Isaac.
Oh no, I was thinking with more of lower
Now-
pursuits. Lower pursuits.
Don't need to push that further.
By the way,
Is
everybody
is the Duchess a original creation for this episode, or is she found in the Arthur Conan Doyle books?
Count-
I
That's-
can't answer that because
that
I haven't
counts
gotten
as
to the
whatever.
Moriarty bits of Sherlock Holmes yet. But maybe.
I don't see her in any other literature, like TVs and movies.
I wonder if they just made her for this episode, like a love interest for storytelling purposes.
So I looked up Countess Regina Bartholomew, and the only things that come up is Star Trek.
Yeah, Countess Regina Bartholomew. Regina means queen.
I'm interested to know why
Bartley
he
did-
hasn't asked to see Polanski.
Moriarty did say specifically created for Data, or for this scenario.
So yeah, not
Good.
just made for Star Trek.
Another question here is his first name James only for Star Trek.
Wait, it's
I
not
don't
called
think
James
so.
Moriarty elsewhere? No,
He's
he
written
is.
for
I
Moriarty.
think he is
Pretty sure
actually
it's
James
James.
Moriarty. That sounds right.
Yeah.
It's certainly James Moriarty in the other two primary, whatever they're called, appearances of the character.
I mean, he's just called Moriarty in the credits, by the way. By the way, across all of cinema and television, this is the best Moriarty in all of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, it's better than the one that they had in the RDJ movie.
And the Benedict
For sure.
Cumberbatch ones.
Oh, they ruined Moriarty at the end of the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock, BBC Sherlock.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Only
really
the-
liked BB's. I really liked Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock, but they kind of went weird with it after a season or two.
Yeah.
They kind of went off the
Yeah.
rails.
The fourth
Yeah.
season was rough.
I really did like the episodes where it's literally just playing out Sherlock in a in the time it was written.
Oh yeah, where they go
That was-
to
that
the
was
turn of the
alright, yeah.
century.
Well, one thing I liked about the Benedict Cumberbatch one was that they had
Oh, look, it's Jupiter.
Holmes be an Afghan war veteran, because there was a British-Afghan war back in 1850 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then they had this guy also be an Afghan war veteran because, of course, Britain was also in Afghanistan after 2001. That's why he has a cane.
No,
Why did the screens flicker like that? What's happening to the electrical systems?
It's like the computer's thinking too much.
Captain Moriarty.
Is it changing resolution, and that's why it's flickering?
I was wondering just, what makes the screens flicker?
I want to know all the hiding places of phasers on the bridge because Worf just pulls them out of nowhere.
Worf
He
always
keeps
has
them
a
in
gun.
all of his
He loves his gun.
pockets.
Maybe it's like they're hidden in a secret compartment on the bridge.
Under the tactical station, he's just got like a little.
Or all those storage compartments on the sides of the bridge that they never
Yeah,
use.
no, he
Storage
does just keep a
compartments?
gun
Storage
taped to the bottom of his desk.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, I do that.
emergencies.
But can I add though, Moriarty's right over here because they did keep him locked in a box sentient for like 10 years. Anyone would hate that.
They could have just transferred him to his own holodeck.
Yeah.
If he wasn't a holodeck, he would have been. If he wasn't a hologram, he would have been gone nuts.
Right.
He has gone nuts, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Storage
is kind of a
compartments
Moriarty
containing the
turned
quadriplegic
good,
cave.
turned evil.
But yeah, Moriarty's. I get his motivations.
He's a
Well,
great
I
I
character.
get
think
him.
this is also a good theoretical plan that these guys come up with of how to get things off the holodeck. It makes it makes sense in theory. Which why didn't they think of this 4 years ago?
I mean, they didn't have a hologram holding the ship hostage back then. That's why they just told him, just go in the box and we'll figure
But
it
what's
out.
also interesting to think about is that the only people they're talking to LaForge, who is a holographic simulation. So the computer is actually coming up with this idea as well.
Well, yes.
we don't know that
and
yet.
then we see in Deep Space Nine that they actually pull off essentially this exact thing because during that transporter accident where they have to store
Oh,
their
yeah.
physical patterns in the
Yeah.
holodeck, they eventually do use those patterns to reconstitute
Original matter, yeah.
Yeah, so this should work, and if it doesn't, they should figure it out later on, and then there should be an episode of Deep Space Nine where like, hey, yeah, remember when we told you we got you off the holodeck?
Well, because
Can you
they,
imagine how pissed
Well-
Moriarty would be though? If like they're like, oh hey Moriarty, we actually tricked you, put you in another box.
this might be a
Well,
good idea,
that
but they
would
never
turn him
actually
into an
tried
actual
for
villain.
real. Maybe this actually does work in practice. We just don't find out in this episode. Because they're not using a real transporter.
That's true. They're using a holographic transporter.
Doesn't Moriarty tell Riker what they're doing to try it?
Yeah, he tells them to try it, but then they just don't. They beam him into the box instead. They never actually
And
try
then don't
this
we
plan for
see-
real with the real transport. I don't think. I could be wrong.
Don't we see the box later on? Doesn't Barclay have the box like on his shelf in Voyager, like on his desk?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I want to
that'd be
say
funny.
later on that we see
does.
the computer with Moriarty in it.
Let me look up Star Trek Moriarty box.
the Mac Mini.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
here's another
it's
thing.
Mac Mini.
There's no reason that simulation in the box has to run in real time. They could have just accelerated it to the point where they died instantly, and then the problem solved.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
or they could make him live like such slow time that like he'll be fine. Like he'll have
They-
no way of knowing.
They could have done it, made it super slow. That way, he's only been in it for like a day, and it's been like 30 years, and they developed a way to get him out, and he's not so pissed because he only spent a day in there.
Right.
But yeah, or you could just accelerate it.
You know, a related ethical point is in Voyager when the doctor says, "Can I have my own ability to turn myself on and off?" Because it's like it's really rude when people just turn him off or like
To
Yeah.
leave them on, yeah.
yeah, like, and it's an ethical consideration that we don't have to think about, but we should start.
I got to wear trousers the
The
whole
whole
time.
She kind of looks like an old Rachel Weisz a little bit.
She looks a
She
bit
sounds like
like.
Janeway.
Yeah, I was gonna say she looks a bit like Kate Mulgrew.
She sounds
She has
like
the
it
gravel
too.
voice. Yeah,
It's not.
not quite
Yeah,
as
it's not.
gravelly, but
Yeah, but it's not Mulgrew.
No, it's
no,
not.
it's not.
Just reminds us of her.
Nom, 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 nom.
Oh
To be
wow.
honest, because
Mm.
these are
Barclay's like, oh, I gotta
these
put
are
this in my next holo novel.
Interesting. He said the full
Lieutenant.
pronunciation there.
Wait, did you just say the correct pronunciation? Is that the phrasing
Yes.
you used?
Well, I said the full pronunciation.
Tell me, where is the F in lieutenant? Where does that come
I've
from?
always wondered that.
You know what? Can I say where's the
I'm not
R?
sure. It's always been a British thing that we say lieutenant.
Where's the R in Colonel? Because when I first saw that, I'm like,
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
Colonel, Colonel is something
Colonel?
that we use in English, which doesn't have an F, and I'm perfectly willing to admit Colonel is just wrong.
yeah.
Colonel.
Lieutenant
go,
is wrong and Colonel is wrong.
Colonel almost Colorado.
I mean,
Doesn't make
like,
sense.
I immigrated from India when I was 3 years old, so it's like new words were like very new to me. You know, I was like, "What is?" Because like Colonel Sanders, and I know a kernel of corn, so I kept thinking it was like a kernel, Kernel.
Yep.
I know if you go back to that episode where everyone's transferred to the holodeck that we were just talking about, their holographic projections, when Kira is the Russian lady, she pronounced it colonel.
Yeah,
They're like,
Yeah,
Major
they,
Colonel, actually.
English
Understand.
has rules that exist only to be broken.
Yes.
And then a lot of times there's more exceptions to the rule than there are instances where the rules
yeah.
are
We have to
followed.
just redo English.
So,
You know,
yeah, take a mulligan on it.
Make it phonetic.
George Bernard Shaw tried to do that when he wrote Pygmalion and stuff, but it's just there's so much phonetics going on that actually 26 letters is what we're gonna stick to. Believe me.
No,
Well, I don't need more letters. I just want to
No,
change how things are spelled.
Consistency.
Right.
Yeah.
No data is available for data.
Yeah.
What do you mean
One is
data's
my
not
name,
available?
the
He's
other
right
is not.
here.
He's
Now
busy.
it's an Abbott and Costello routine.
Never happened.
Never occurred. That doesn't make sense. They
was gonna
didn't
say
go into
there-
a time loop or whatever.
I
He
was gonna
just
say.
leaves the room.
I was gonna say there's data available.
Yes, but is it data or data?
It's data.
Data said there's no data available on that transport.
Yeah.
Oh, look
But
at that
he
combat
pronounced
John
it
Jordy. I
data?
never noticed it has this big cylinder popping out. I thought it was like straight onto his shirt. It's actually offset by a good half inch.
Hmm. Oh, by the way, somebody put the all 5 lights thing in the Discord chat. We need exactly 5 lights
Yeah.
on that, please. There's only 2 so far.
There's 3.
Yeah, I thought there were 5 lights. But the
You can
Kardashians
select-
picked them.
You can select 5 squares with lights in them.
But it doesn't say all 5 squares
That's
with
fair.
lights. It says 5 lights. Though I agree that that particular meme could be done better to show the 5
Wouldn't
lights.
Moriarty be aware of this conversation and be able to
Yeah.
hear them no matter where they are in the holodeck?
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's busy with the Countess Regina.
You saw the way they made out? It was like really hot too.
Oh, okay. There was no data in the computer because there was no real computer.
Yep. Exactly.
Right.
Why are we explaining this to Commander LaForge? He's not
It's
a real
fake
person.
commander.
I like how Picard looks at him like, you.
You know what's funny? Because in the first scene, when Barclay discovers Professor Moriarty, he asks him which hand are you, and he throws him something. So the same thing gives it away to Data.
Also, since
That doesn't answer the question about the Forge.
since most of the people here are holograms, the computer was just troubleshooting with itself how it could beam bits of itself to a different part of itself.
Right.
I find it hard to believe the computer is not, in fact,
He's redirected the
sentient.
comm badges. But at this point, Moriarty should be aware that they figured it out.
Yes.
I mean,
but he's busy.
The Forge is like, I'll just go over here in the corner. Be a
Oh
hologram.
God. Am I gonna die in like an hour? Am I gonna cease to exist? What happens to me when I deactivate?
Oh boy. You just created a whole nother ship full of sentient holograms.
You know, I always, when I saw this episode before, always apparently missed this scene explaining that they are on the holodeck. So I never figured out how they got out of it without getting out of it.
Okay.
At the end.
Yeah, it's pretty pivotal.
And this is amazing Moriarty work.
yeah, it is. It is. He's a genius.
I mean, I'm not convinced he should be able to do this because he has like 18th century knowledge. This is a 23rd century starship. Or 24th.
Does he have access to like the entire computer?
I mean, he doesn't have time to read the manual. It's been like a day.
He doesn't need to read it. He's like Neo. He just integrates the file into his memory, you know?
Did they say that his program was just cordoned off into when he was in the holodeck, when he was shut off for 4 years? Maybe he had, I don't know, access to reading material.
Why did he put himself... I mean, they know he's in the holodeck. Why did he put himself in guest quarters?
Yeah.
Is it guest quarters or is it Picard's quarters?
I don't
guest
know.
quarters. But like he's broadcasting that like I know what's up.
Where else would they put him?
Let's see if we get like a side shot of Moriarty on the screen here, so we can get an example of that holographic projection. Whose idea was it again? Was it Data's idea? Or was it Barclay's idea?
Barclays, I think.
Barclay. A distressing lack of enthusiasm. So what if we turned off the holodeck? Where's the holodeck drawing power from exactly? Because that's a lot of power.
Yeah. There's got to be like a node or a transformer that you could hit.
So it's on an entirely separate subsystem as well.
But it has to...
Yeah.
The power has to be generated.
We have details on
this
this somewhere else. Yeah, but we have information in other episodes that the holodecks are on a different power subsystem to much of the rest of the ship.
Which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Do they have like a separate fusion generator working just the holodeck? Even so, they still have to be able to access it. It's still a physical generator that exists somewhere. Just turn
I think
it
it's
off.
something that they route the power in a different fashion.
Just turn it off.
Speaking
If
of
it's drawing
kernel,
power from the warp core, turn the warp core off.
speaking of kernel, any modern day operating system has the ability to segregate the OS files from like the downloaded files, and it should keep out anything from controlling the OS
I
registry.
mean, yeah, but they're.
It does look and sound a lot like Kate Mulgrew.
In theory, that they could be isolated, but.
Right.
You're quite right. She does look and sound a lot like Kate Mulgrew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does, yeah.
Not as gravelly, but it's kind of has the timbre.
Sorry for the
British Kate.
Is Picard trying to steal Moriarty's girlfriend here?
No, he's
Oh,
just trying to.
trying to flatter her, though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He's trying to get her to
Trying to-
persuade Moriarty to let go.
Yeah.
You know, the Amazon trivia says there are clues throughout the show that this is an illusion. We never get the usual exterior shots of the Enterprise once Picard, Data, and Barclay enter the holodeck.
Oh, no establishing shots? It makes sense.
Right.
That is true.
We've had some shots of the two planets about to merge.
Right. On the view
Well, that was
screen.
before they went to the real bridge, though.
That was after Data realized that they were still on the holodeck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. Okay.
So it
But
was
also that's
already
on the
broken
view
to the
screen.
audience.
It's not an exterior shot, also.
Ooh, Heisenberg compensators. How do they work?
Very well, thank you.
Ah,
Yeah, that's what I read in TV Guide once. They work
Yeah.
very well.
I've
They
always
also
liked
aren't
Patrick
necessary
Stewart
to explain. There's no
pronunciation.
way they actually need to get anywhere near
The interesting thing is, do they ever
precision
go back
transport
and
people.
bring Moriarty out from it once they get the mobile holo emitters?
I mean, do we ever establish if they're able to recreate mobile emitters?
I don't think they can. Like, I don't think they could replicate it or anything.
Right.
They just have the one.
That is too complex to replicate.
Do you remember when the mobile emitter gets assimilated and
Yeah.
they create a
29th
29th
century Borg.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
God.
always-
Which I don't think that's how that works at all, but okay.
Yeah.
You can't bring people to the future just because your little holodeck was from the future.
Oh, God. Are they saying that the thing has more gravity now that they're merging? Did they really just
Yes.
say that? That's painful.
No, it said the gravity well
Oh
was
my-
increasing.
That's
Which doesn't make sense.
painful.
The gravity well is exactly the same.
Total mass is not
Yeah.
changing. Yes. Oh my
But wouldn't-
God.
Wouldn't the locus of gravity be
The
different?
issue would be
No,
the radiation would change,
it
but
makes
the
no
gravity is
sense.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
This is
also
a
gravity
holodeck
is
episode.
also gravity isn't an issue here because it just pulls you towards the thing. It doesn't do anything to affect the ship itself.
Yeah. they're
Unless
in
it's
orbit.
pulling it
They'll-
real hard.
they'll be- Yeah. It's the fusion they really have to worry about.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
shockwave.
depending on the mass of those two things, it might nova, in which case they're dead. Most likely it just forms like a properly fusing star and it's fine, but it might nova. Except that's not the issue. They're saying it's falling into a gravity well, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
Uncoupling the Heisenberg compensators? That's not going to make things better for anybody.
Yeah, that's just Heisenberg identity principle. Oh, we're trying to throw that out the window. Let's destroy the entire ship.
Well, it's a trick. They know that if they do that, what that comes out the other end will be just a smoking mess of flesh, like in Star Trek: The Motion Picture. What came through the transporter didn't live long, thankfully.
I mean, like, there's no way you would actually need, that level of precision transporter.
The whole point before was that they needed to have actual pattern enhancers.
Well, here now, all right. So they've been transported into another, the holodeck of the holographic ship Moriarty created,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
They're just in
So-
Which is-
holodeck level 2.
This
No,
is a
level
dream
three. This is
within the
holodeck level
dream.
3.
Anyone seen the Synecdoche, New York?
It seems kind of weird that
It's a
Moriarty
weird
would
movie.
not realize that he needs actual pattern enhancers, which would have had to have been
Well,
brought into the holodeck from outside.
They could have beamed the pattern enhancers into the holodeck.
Theoretically,
True.
I suppose.
Unless they need
Moriarty's
to use
the original.
enhance the patterns of the pattern enhancers to beam them in.
And now they say, hey, look, this is why we didn't show any outside shots.
Moriarty's the original illusion. The fake ship is the second level of illusion. And then this thing is the illusion within the illusion within the illusion.
So the Enterprise D has this massive computer core that we see occasionally, maybe like twice. It takes up multiple decks. It's absolutely gigantic. Meanwhile, Moriarty's existing in a tiny little cube that fits in your palm of your hand, and then it's simulating an entire universe.
Yeah.
Or at least the bits that Moriarty is nearby.
And look, they've got the they've got this
Sarah
model spacecraft, shuttlecraft. So wait,
Sakharov,
the shuttlecraft
yes.
they were showing was a completely different prop versus what they just got into. Do you notice that?
I did not, but I'll take your word for it. It is a wondrous
So
sight.
He
Here
doesn't
she
even
was
know
at
how
Type-
money works.
Type 6.
And he's like trotting out into the universe.
All right, so they boarded a Type 6 shuttlecraft, and then they show us a completely different shuttlecraft model in the hangar.
Is the Type 1 shuttlecraft the NX-01 shuttle pod?
No.
They only have one pair of clothes.
They've got a replicator in the shuttle. They're fine.
Okay.
So they're using a model
They're
for
still
it.
inside a ship. They haven't showed any outside shots of the ship.
There we go. We did it. Okay, now they're on the... They're still on a holodeck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're back on holodeck level 1.
Nested holodecks.
Now we're back on the real ship. We did it.
Karen always has status.
Except they... So Moriarty interfaced with the Enterprise, but he interfaced with a fake Enterprise. How do they have control back?
What if they're even another layer deeper than they expect? And
What if Star Trek isn't actually real?
Yeah.
What if life it really is just a dream? Row, 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 row.
What if you people are all just figments of my imagination, and I exist as a Boltzmann brain out in the universe?
what if you're a figment of my
Yeah.
imagination?
And you're about to face. You have to disappear.
What if you're a figment of your own imagination?
Oh my gosh, the universe would collapse in on itself.
At least
So
my
later
universe
on,
was.
later
Witness
on,
our
Barkley is going to go inside that cube, meet Moriarty, and then Moriarty is going to be like, "I want to
So-
die because that's what gives life meaning is to die."
So someone
then
said you could
that'll
just
be
slap a
it.
3090 on the cube and it should be fine. That thing's about as big as a 3090. So yeah.
No, 3090 is
3090
bigger than
what?
that, dude. RTX 3090.
Yeah, I have one. The thing's absolutely massive.
It's 7.25 pounds. It's the biggest graphics card that I know
Now, I
of.
have a slight question about why a gas charge is so close to a star as well.
It's just falling in.
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
drop
why
it,
couldn't it
Barkley.
be?
What's the
Because-
issue?
Gas giants are usually
Gas-
further out.
I forgot about that computer end
No,
program.
there's a reason that they call them hot Jupiters. Like a lot of the exoplanets we've seen, as I recall, are gas
They're
giants
nearly
weirdly close to the
protostars.
star.
That's the first.
Yeah.
No, this is actually fairly
be
common.
like
This
that.
happens.
Yeah.
We still
No, it
don't
doesn't
have
look like
5
that though.
lights.
That was wrong.
If you keep,
Or
will you keep
4
it
lights,
safe,
rather.
Barkley, forever?
Yeah, but he's just in a simulation this entire time to keep him under control.
Next week, LaForge gets a big girlfriend.
Yeah, he
Okay.
gets a girlfriend, then he accuses her of being an alien shapeshifter, and she's not into that, so she breaks up with him.
Ugh,
And then,
hate that
then she
episode.
turns into a dog.
And then next week is also Face of the Enemy, which is a really good Troi episode. She turns into a Romulan. and Tapestry, where Jean-Luc
Tapestry.
Picard wears blue.
Get stabbed
That's
in the
so
heart.
good.
Play Dom
Still-
human.
I still say that they should have had Renee or somebody play him.
Renee?
Renee Auberjonois.
No, the actor who plays
Andrea?
his nephew.
Oh.
The
Wait,
kid.
who did you want? Oh, you wanted to play him in Tapestry. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
In terms
have
of
young
the,
Picard look
I don't
like
think he's
young
old
Picard.
enough, though.
in terms of the O5 lights, I can find two definitions where you could highlight 5 cubes, five
Okay.
destroyers. You have the top two, top left, and then one below.
Let me bring this
The
up on the
cross,
YouTube
then
stream so
top
people
right.
know what we're talking about. This thing here. There's two
Yeah.
squares.
So you have
there's two
the
squares.
top left and the one below it, to the right,
Oh.
and then top right. And you also, or you do the 4 lights, then you have the 2 lights in his hand as another square. They're highlighting
True.
5 squares.
Now, this one in the top right is something that happens very frequently in actual captures, where I'm not sure if this little sliver of the light casing counts as a square.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
do I select that or do I not select that? I mean, I can see it's there.
I always select it.
Yeah.
I always
Usually
select it.
it'll just give you another one anyway, if it's messed up.
Well, yeah.
The
Do
thing
they
is-
mean when they talk about the lights? Do you mean just the actual the
Yeah.
luminant part, or do you
The-
mean the actual casing of the
The
lights
light of the case,
themselves?
which is the light? What
Yeah.
part of the light is the light? Like, I'm looking at the top center of my room on the ceiling, and I see a light, but there's, the semi-transparent thing around the light bulb. Is that part of the light?
That's good. That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
I don't know. Anyway, what was we talking about? Oh yeah, I don't think young Picard Renee would work for Tapestry, because that Tapestry Picard's supposed to be just out of the academy. I think he's too old, and the kid's too young.
I really wanted Picard when he looks in the mirror in that episode to say "Oh boy," as a callback to Quantum Leap.
Yep. That was a good show.
Maybe if we had Scott Bakula first, then we could call back. Unfortunately, they didn't know. They didn't know. And yeah, tomorrow is the Magnificent Ferengi with Iggy Pop, Waltz where Dukat goes full crazy, and Who Mourns for Morn with Morn.
No, when we do an Enterprise stream, you'll probably hear me talking about how he does basically the same character in NCIS New Orleans a lot.
Okay, and we will be doing Enterprise, either right after TNG, or, I don't know. I don't know if I want to
cross
do
that
TOS.
bridge when we get to it.
We're going to either do TOS then Enterprise, or Enterprise then TOS. Because one's 3 seasons, one 4 seasons, so that'll work up with Voyager's 7.
Oh, you could do the animated series as well, so it'd be an even 4 and 4.
And
Yeah,
Well, no, actually, 3 and 4 is more convenient.
Yeah, 3
3
and
and 4 is more.
because the original series is only 3 seasons.
So
Yeah.
three original, and then the animated series would be 4,
Yeah.
and then you've got 4 seasons of Enterprise. That would be
Yeah, but
equal.
Voyager's only
But he's putting the
7
He doesn't want
seasons.
to. Yeah. 3 plus
Yeah.
4 equals 7 is convenient.
An animated series is like
Although
3 seasons, I think.
No,
But
Yeah,
they're
mid-series
only like
only
30
one.
minutes.
Leonard. It's only
And they're
one.
only like 30 minutes, so that's why it's more like
Star
more
Trek,
episodes.
let me look up Star Trek the animated series. Okay. 2 seasons, each one.
That was-
Well, season 1 has 16 episodes, season 2 has 6. So that's 22 episodes in total.
And they're half
And
an
each
hour,
runtime
so-
is 24 minutes.
right.
So
So
about half the length
maybe
of a
the-
real episode.
Yeah, it'd be like a shorter.
There's only 22 episodes in total.
Yes, 22 episodes, which is 13 actual Star Trek length episodes.
Right, but that rounds out the 5-year mission: 3 TOS and 2 animated series.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not going to be coming for
More
a
trivial,
while
more
yet, in
trivial.
any case.
Yeah.
Because we got to actually finish TNG and the TNG movies and DS9, and then we'll figure out the schedule later. Maybe I'll put it to a poll. I'll do a poll. It's going to be Voyager is going to be one, and then either Enterprise or TOS.
Thank you,
should all be
chat.
good.
Thank you, Ryan.
We're done here.
Thank you guys. Have a good one. I've seen you on the YouTube stream. See you
Yes.
next weekend.
Thank you, Kevin. Bye.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.